So the chat on Rumble just appears to be completely fucking dead. I don't know if this is a me thing or yeah, it's like the chat is just like hard disabled on Rumble. I don't know what the fuck the deal is with that. I wonder if they disabled that because of the DDoS attacks last night or what. If you want to use chat, you're gonna have to not use Rumble, unfortunately. Okay. So we do a mic check. A mic check, everybody. Am I nice and loud? Am I nice and loud for everybody? Can you all hear me? It's a very important thing when you do a podcast, apparently. Okay. All right. I will now start to stream, I suppose.
The car is on fire, and there's no driver at the wheel. And the sewers are all muddied with 1,000 lonely suicides. And a dark wind blows. The government is corrupt. And we're on so many drugs with the radio on and the curtains drawn. We're trapped in the belly of this horrible machine. And the machine is bleeding to death.
That is technically a song that is from Dead Flag Blues, and it is a very compelling 24-minute long. I think it's like a proper record. It has, but it like the different components of the song, seamlessly blend into each other. It's by Godspeed Black Emperor, or You Black Emperor, or something. If you're only listening, there is a video of Joe Biden with a completely glassy, vacant expression staring, which is why that particular song was chosen to accompany that video. I did not watch the presidential debates because I do not vote. However, apparently the presidential debates were a bit of a spectacle to behold. So I will talk about that just a little bit. Obviously, because I've not seen the presidential debate, I cannot give you my hot takes, which I know all of you love my political opinions. We will instead just listen to evil liberals reeling in disgust and hatred, just a little bit. It's like the first time that I can watch CNN and laugh because they're just all like about to commit suicide together. So okay, my mic might be a little bit loud because I see it peaking. Just let me know if it's a bit loud because I don't know. I don't know what to do with my mic anymore. I put on the compressor again because everyone said, oh, it's so loud. So I changed all the volumes and shit. But now I see that I peak when I talk. I see it peaking. It's so frustrating. I hate fucking computers. I picked the wrong job. I should have done literally anything else. I should have done literally any other fucking job because I just hate computers. I hate how they fucking work. Or how they don't work. I'm just sick of it. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna talk. Not much has happened this week. The live count is completely and totally fucking inaccurate. I don't know. There's like 1,000 people watching on Rumble, but the chat's broken or something, and then the Odyssey count just doesn't show up at all. And then there's there's 0 viewers on Kick, which I don't think is accurate. So this is what we get. Okay. Everything's broken. Wonderful. Let's start with something heckin' wholesome. 95-year-old woman was sentenced in Hamburg today, or on the 26th rather, for Holocaust denial. She had repeatedly been in and out of court. She had not been given prison time before, but she continues to go out and say things that the Germans don't like. So they have imprisoned her for it, despite her age. Ursula was 20 when the Second World War happened. She's that old. And she maintains that there was no Holocaust. There was no arrest of any Jews or that the Auschwitz was like a labor camp only, and so on and so forth. Basically, what they would call not Holocaust denial, but Holocaust revisionism, history revisionism. And so, but that's downplaying the Holocaust is as bad as denying it ever happened in Germany in particular. So they sentenced her to 16 months, I believe, for, oh, it was 10 months, but then they increased it, I believe. It's now 16 months. So I guess they can't have Ms. or Mrs. or what's the German word for Mrs. Because I know that Mister is Herr. Is it just Madam? Is it whatever? Miss Haverbach was saying things that they don't like, so they put her in Fraulein. Really, Fraulein. Okay, got you. So it's a bit depressing. I don't have anything really to add to that. She's very smiles about it, by the way. She loves that she pisses everybody off. When she's out of the courtroom and the journalist harass her and like, Fraulein Haberbach, do you have any regrets for the things that you have said and done to downplay the Holocaust? Nine. She just smiles at them and grins in her little wheelchair. They're gonna have to roll her wheelchair into a cell because she can't walk. But at least democracy is protected. I'm sure that Fraulein Haberbach's revisionism is more of a threat to German democracy than the tens of millions of economic migrants from Turkey and Syria, where democracy flourishes, and the desert doesn't grow too much in the mountains of, what do you call the mountains of Turkey? Is that a part of the Caucasus? All those, oh, the Anatolian mountains, is that the right word? I'm sure that in the mountains of the Anatolian Turkish ranges, the only thing that blossoms there is democracy and a love for freedom and freedom of speech. So that's why she is the number one. By the way, I remember there was the immigration union. It was like the customs enforcement and it might be the Zoll. I think that's what they call that in German. Like the union for the Zoll, which is responsible for customs and immigration shit, came out and said that it would take like 85 years for if immigration completely stopped in Germany right now, and now another immigrant came into the country, at their current rate of processing and their current level of manpower, it would take the German border control like 85 years to fully deport all the mandatory deportable immigrants in the country. Like people that have committed egregious like crimes of violence that automatically disqualifies them from staying in the country. It would take them 85 years just to process those people. But Fraulein Haberbach is the issue here. The courts can make time for her and her naughty statements. Sure, she's a literal first-hand witness to this history, and she can form opinions about what she saw. But the judges who learn things in history books know better, because that's the real danger. Next. Are we going to talk about this? No, wait, no. Okay, hold up. Do I want to put that there? I thought I had, I want to watch the CNN reaction to it. I'll play this. There wasn't much that Biden and Trump could agree on, but they could agree on this.
Me and Mr. Trump, we disagree on a lot of stuff, but at the end of the day, we're two niggas from the Aryan tribe. We'd be rolling up op packs in the hood and taking them UFOs to Agartha to get some child porn and alien lean. I love child porn.
We need to legalize child porn. We need to do that right now. Yes, yes, we do. And we also need to legalize UFO trips for the white boys to Agartha. We need to legalize alien lean. And we need to legalize child porn. I'm not sure if I mentioned that, sir.
It's so embarrassing because, like, they're trying to talk about very serious things that the average American is concerned with, and Joe Biden's just completely inarticulate. It's so embarrassing. Actually, I do kind of want to like seriously watch this with you guys. I don't know if there's like a funny like memology 101 compilation of the Young Turks freaking out. If there is, like, post that in the Maddie thread. We got time to kill this stream, so we're gonna take it easy. Um, let's talk about this first. Just get the. No, we're gonna do this out of order. Change my mind. There was a report. I asked the Maddie thread, like, if there's any weird dumb shit that you want me to talk about that I haven't talked about, just shoot your shot and I'll talk about it. And one of the things that someone wanted me to talk about was that the one guy, one jar. And if you don't remember, there's a shock video where a man sticks a jar up his ass, and the jar is glass, and it implodes inside of his rectum, and he is in agonizing pain. This is a really popular shock video. Apparently, he's Ukrainian, so I don't know what it is about places that I visit and men putting jars up their ass and having it explode, causing world wars. But apparently, he was the Ukrainian man Alexei Tatarov. And Russian media, so this is unverified, but Russian media is allegedly reporting that he died from artillery shrapnel complications, which is an interesting but currently unfalsified. This is the famous video, currently unfalsifiable, that this actually happened. So they are saying that it has. Ukrainian citizen Alexei Tatarov, known for a video which he sits on the jar before it explodes inside of his rectum, has died in a combat zone. Ukrainian social media are saying that he was involuntarily drafted and died from a shard wound. Zelensky did not provide an official commentary regarding his death. Dude, I've been listening to that Ukrainian podcast still, and there's the intro reel of this. I swear to God, I recognize the voice. I'm pretty sure that there's two voices that feature in this. One of them is Zelensky, and the other, I'm almost certain, is the tranny that was the Coach Red Pill tranny. But the way that Zelensky talks is like, it's like he's making fun of me when I listen to him, because he does like this like really embarrassing tough guy gravelly voice, which sounds like if I was trying to force myself to sound like a parody of like a macho man, that's what it would sound like. Like, when you are brave, your bravery put you through the most unimaginable torments before victory. And it's like what the why do you talk like that? Is this, there's no like, my throat hurts when I try to make that sound. Like, why the fuck would you talk like that? It has to be fake. Well, I bring that up because Zelensky did not say, we mourned the loss of one man, one jaw guy. His asshole could take insane punishment, and he was able to kill 5,000 Russian forces before the artillery shell killed him in direct hit. It's like, that's what I'm hoping for. That would be funny. Sorry, that's my Zelensky voice. It's like you have to force all of your grit into your throat and gargle it to make that sound. So as I said, I don't know if he is dead, but his legacy will live on in the trenches. The Russians will be talking to each other and say, Alexei, the one guy, one jaw man, he died nearby. It's like, no, it's not true. Like, it is. It is. If you listen on cold night, you can still hear his terrified shrieks. Listen, comrade. He is still out there. The Jawman of Kiev. Anyways, sorry. I'm feeling a little bit goofy today, chat. Okay, serious faces only, chat. Serious faces only. This is actually a significant deal. This is probably bigger than the bullshit presidential election. The Supreme Court has decided to overturn what was called the Chevron deference. And this requires a little bit of explanation. I'm actually going to turn my gain just a little bit down because I think it's peaking a little bit too much. So in the United States, we have federal agencies. This is a source of contention. We did not always have federal agencies. It actually doesn't exist in the Constitution, the ability for the government to create federal agencies. This changed in the 1930s when FDR, in his socialist regime change that ruined the entire world, needlessly antagonized Germany and Japan, cost us millions of lives, and only brought us out of the Great Depression because of the Second World War and the military-industrial complex that it created, and the fact that we have literally never demobilized. Like, the United States' economy is basically just a war economy still, and we don't get to talk about that. And this is all FDR's fault, which is why FDR is burning in a special cripple hell. Oh, and also he stole our gold reserves and gave us fake money, criminalized the private possession of gold bullion. So he took real money, gave us fake money, set up the decline of the gold standard, which only survived another 30 years after he died. But he basically ruined the entire country. He burns in a special cripple hell, which I assume is just a giant, never-ending staircase that he tumbles down forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, forever and ever and ever. That's what's happened to FDR. But one of the other things that he did that most people don't really talk about because it's boring, so I'll try to keep it light and quick, is that he basically invented the modern concept of a federal agency. We have the executive branch, we have the legislative branch, and then we have the judicial branch. And these three things are supposed to keep each other in check so that the country remains stable and efficient and also represents the will of the people. When the federal agency became a concept in order to enact socialist policies faster and with less oversight, it involved a charade to try and make them look like they compact with the three branches of government that we're supposed to have. So every federal administration has what's called an administrative law judge, which acts as its judiciary branch. Then there's the actual regulations and shit that they write, and this is their version of the legislative branch. And then there's also the executives, which are appointed directly by the president, and that is the executive branch. So that's why the agency has a secretary, which is directly appointed. It has a legislative branch, which writes policy in accordance to what Congress has permitted to do. And then most contentiously, it also has an administrative law judge, which studies and enacts the legislation of the agency onto the populace. So this is... Oh, the hamster, that's right. I was wondering why everyone was spamming shit again. This isn't really a news hamster. This is more of a American history hamster. Okay, so there I was explaining the administrative law. So now we have these three branches, but the fact is that in practice, it doesn't work that way. The executive appointment has great oversight in what the agency does. The agency can basically get away with murder. Technically, so the way that an agency is created is by something called an enabling act. Congress does have to pass a law to create the agency and decide what it has the power to oversee. But then it's up to the agency to interpret how they interpret that and how they enact it. And then, again, most controversially, the way that is applied to the average person and the businesses that they oversee is through the administrative law judge, who is not actually like a federal judge. And this is where the lines get really blurry, is that the administrative law judge is actually directly employed by the agency and by the prosecutor. So when you get the judge in the agency, he basically works for the party that's suing you, as opposed to in regular federal court where the judge is supposed to be impartial. The federal prosecutor brings the charges, you are arraigned, and then you are heard by someone who, by the actual judge. And the agency, the judge is basically appointed by the agency, same as the prosecutor, and the prosecutor. It's very incestuous. I think I make that obvious. So, the Chevron deference was a 40-year-old precedent where the Supreme Court affirmed the constitutionality of these agencies and the administrative law judges. This is gone, and it's kind of hard to articulate how big of a impact that this will have on the federal government, because it's basically theoretical. The federal government of the United States that you know works in this way and has worked in this way since World War II. As with most things that oppress us and ruin society and make everything dead and gay, it started in World War II, and basically everybody that's alive right now only knows a reality where we've had these agencies that work in this manner. So how does the government work without the administrative law judge? Many people, particularly those who are fond of the federal government, say probably not very well, which many people are very happy with. So it is possible that a lot of these agencies will become very toothless, and it does not mean that they're completely impotent. It just means that things are now a bigger pain in the ass for them. Before, for instance, the SEC, the Security Exchange Commission, which prosecutes securities fraud, among other things, has a 100% conviction rate, which means that if you end up prosecuted by the SEC and you end up in front of an SEC administrative law judge, there is a 100% chance that you are fucked. So you should just take whatever deal they give you. That's like when it comes to like Bankman-Fried or anything like that, you're fucked. Now, if the SEC wants to go to a federal judge and prosecute their rules, they can do so, but it's out of their hands and it's now more impartial. When the SEC has to actually take things to a federal court that is outside of their administrative, they only have a 60% success rate, which is extremely low at a federal level. Federal prosecutors usually enjoy, I want to say, like a 98% conviction rate. So 60 is terrible. When you talk about like a gun firing, you usually want like a 99% success rate. So imagine if you had a gun that fires and 60% of the time it blows up in your hand. That's not good. You don't want that gun. That's a sign that weapon is very terrible and not poorly, is, in this case, it's corrupt, incompetent, and unconstitutional, right? It goes against what the country has permitted it to act with. But because they act in these little cubby holes that are like hidden and protected from the actual federal courts, they can get away with murder, basically. And these trials, because they go through administrative court, take forever. I think one of the people that just went to the Supreme Court has been in trial, literally being prosecuted by one of these agencies for 14 years. So imagine where you were 14 years ago. And then I was like, I was 17 years old. I wasn't even working at Whataburger yet. Now imagine if the SEC or whatever came after you, and now you're at where you're at now, and you've been in litigation for the last 14 years. That's crazy. I think that would bankrupt almost anybody. Very few people could afford 14 years of defense like that. So the Supreme Court randomly deciding that this very structural component to how the government operates day to day is unconstitutional and outside of the scope of what an agency should be allowed to do because of the constitutional duty that the judiciary is bound by. It changes everything. So it may, like, obviously, I think if the powers that be were to rally around and pass a bunch of laws and maybe a constitutional amendment, then it would go back to normal. But if things are really, like, this is why, by the way, it's really, really dangerous how the president is the one who appoints I think it's lifelong appointments for every federal judge. And it's really funny, if you look at areas that have like a 90% white population, almost always their federal judges are black or brown. So like the president, like Biden, has appointed a huge number of black, I think the most in history. I think there was even like a big press conference they did where Biden was celebrating how many black and brown judges he's put into the federal court system. So this is why they're doing that. Maybe they had it on their radar that the administrative law judges were about to fall apart. So it's like, okay, let's load in as many terrible federal judges, as many communist, Jewish, ex-Soviets that we can into our federal circuits, so that when these cases are prosecuted in the federal level, they still have terrible results. So, yeah, it's a big change up, and it's kind of like you ask what are the ramifications of this, long-term ramifications of it. It's like it's impossible to know because it's brand new. It's like, what if up was down? What if gravity was half of what it was? You know, it's like, well, that means things change, and it's impossible to predict. So they will fall where they will. All right, let's watch. I did things out of order, and I fucked up an actual intentional order that I had. So this is a cyclist going through the streets of, I think it's a Slavic country. And he's deciding to enact cycler justice on the cars that are a little bit too close into the bike lane for him. Fuck your mirror. Fuck your mirror, bitch. Yeah, that'll show him. Oh no. He like intentionally tries to have collisions and shit. This guy is like a super big. It's funny how even in. I'm desperately trying to figure out what country this is in because it does look a little bit Eastern Bloc, but I don't see any writing that I can make out because the video resolution is so small. Wait. World's crazy page. No, that's not. That's like the person that put it together. I want like the actual. Can't tell what country. Here's another one. I think this is the same guy. We might have a better video here. This is okay. So this is east of the Dnieper, and this is perhaps in the Donetsk People Republic. Because of the way that the war is evolving and how tanks are becoming bigger targets for FPV drones and stuff, the Russians have innovated by bringing back old tech. Bicycle divisions were used in Germany, the Netherlands, and Japan to redeploy troops without having to rely on petroleum, which was a big deal in the war. So now here we have Russia employing the bicycle divisions as well in the Donetsk. Here we have an enemy troop. We're gonna engage him. He has loaded his front. I don't know if you saw that, but he has loaded his front turret. He's gonna fire on the enemy division. He's even like lighting it. He's arming the munition. The munition is armed. It's now live. He's loading in another one. This is Italian, by the way. I'm pretty sure. He's the genius of this is that the one-man operator can also the tank commander. The bicycle commander is also the bicycle gunner, and one person can operate that. Oh shit! That's a cluster munition. That's outlawed by the Geneva Convention. We have actual evidence of Russian war crimes on Donetsk right now. He's like going. Is that just like a random pedestrian? That wasn't even the guy. Oh, he did. He crashed. He got him. Kill confirmed. And now he's gunning. Okay, he's gunning down the injured. That's also a violation of the Geneva Convention. Come on now. 2 war crimes, chat. 2 war crimes. Unbelievable. It's an army without morals is what it is, chat. All right, let's watch some politics. The
president and former.
It's 11 minutes. That's the only issue. I don't mind watching an 11-minute video. Can we do Biden performance TYT? I'm gonna check the thread. Maybe somebody posted it in the thread. A TYT compilation. I don't think such a thing exists though. Okay, it does not. When we search the 20 minutes. Ooh, okay. Let's just. I think that the Young Turks will be funnier because you got the bison man, the buffalo. Kind of. I haven't watched this yet. It's 20 minutes long. I just let him see Hawk for a little bit. See how funny it is.
It's over. It's totally over.
Great opener. It's over.
Joe Biden didn't pick up a single voter there. He lost millions of votes there. He looked ancient. He sounded ancient. Nobody was even listening to what he was saying, even when he was in the middle of losing his train of thought. And you're like, no! But even then, don't worry about it, because nobody heard him. He spoke at a whisper. He mumbled so much. He looked incredibly weak. Now, is he actually weak? No, he's old. There's nothing he can do about it. He's 81, and he looks, honestly, 101. And so all of this time, And I want to give the most credit to the Young Turks audience, because before I made my desperate run against him in the primaries, I did a poll. I said, I'm not going to run if you guys don't want it, and you're going to force me to do it if you think that Biden can't win this thing. And they voted overwhelmingly. Somebody's got to do it, so just run. We need something different. That you guys were right. You were 100% right.
Yep.
And now everyone is screaming from the rooftops. You were right. Joe Biden is not up to the job. It's the most obvious thing in the world. Now the reality.
There are two interesting things about this debate, by the way. This is the earliest presidential debate that has ever happened between in the general election. And that's because, and I think that's partly because both of the candidates were picked very early on. The Republicans knew that they were going to run Trump, and the Democrats knew they were going to run Biden. So this happened very, very early, which might be serendipitous for the Democrats if they want to change out Biden, because now they have the time to do so. It's 5 months until the election, so they want to rush out somebody new. And I think, judging by how poor his popularity is even in their own party, and this is all assuming, by the way, that voting has any consequence. We're playing pretend here. Just so you know, Biden's going to win because they're going to stuff the ballots with 24 million fucking votes. So this is all play pretend, and I'm indulging a fantasy where democracy is a real thing, just to make that clear. So they could theoretically swap him out with somebody who's not an old man who shits himself, right? The issue is, and this is something actually pretty insightful that I heard on CNN while listening to the other video. That's not the bison man yelling. Is that he said that the Democrats really wanted to avoid infighting a la 2016, where you had Hillary Clinton, who's extremely unpopular, running against Bernie Sanders. And then I think there was another person that was also a little bit popular in that one. I could be thinking of the Green Party lady. But basically, the internal division in the DNC's primary election negatively impacted Hillary Clinton, and they were hoping to avoid a repeat of that by not having any potential nominee run against Biden. And that's basically a lock-in, because if you don't know, the Democrats, the parties decide how they vote. It's a completely proprietary thing. It's not constitutionally regulated. Like, if you have a party that's like privately owned and the guy is just representing himself, you could theoretically have that party and not have any elections within the party. But the DNC has their rules set up in such a way where they basically have a set number of delegates from each state who always vote the way that the DNC want them to vote. So it's extremely, extremely difficult playing by their rules to actually democratically elect a competitor to Biden, which is just bizarre because it's the Democratic Party, but their rules are markedly anti-democratic. Whereas the Republican rules, I think, are state by state. You have weird shit in the Republican Party that's not worth getting into. My point was just that they didn't want to try to replace Biden because they were afraid, or run against Biden because they didn't want to have internal division.
Is that Donald Trump had a terrible debate. He said lunatic things nonstop. He said the line, "In my administration, we had H2O," and did not follow it up with anything else.
It was true, at least.
Yeah, this is like, if you're.
I mean, it's not a lie. Every thirsty boy in the White House got a cup of water.
Debating a guy who was saying maniacal things like "you're the Manchurian candidate," and
do you remember that when Trump had the little boy who was mowing the lawn? And there was like some controversy about this little boy mowing the lawn. So Trump invited him to come to the White House to mow the White House lawn. And then I think Trump even came out with a glass of water and gave it to him because he was working pretty hard. And Trump was like, "Hey, good sweat there, kid. I'm gonna get you some cool Trump water. We got the best water in the White House." And I think that happened. I think that's a real memory in my head somewhere.
That other countries are releasing all of their criminals and mental institutions to come running across our border. You have an obligation to kick his ass in that debate. Yep. So when he says about Biden, he's like a Palestinian. Now, Joe Biden, you've lost 30 points with young voters because how brutal you have allowed Israel to be to the Palestinians while still giving them all that money. This is your opportunity to pick up some of those votes, to bring him back and go, "Did you just say I'm like a Palestinian," as if it's an insult?
Yep.
So then you can go on, and I know you love Israel, and you'll say some ass-kissing thing about Israel. But by God, at least pick up some votes, right? And he just used.
From what I understand, I kind of skimmed through the live discussion of the debate in the thread, And apparently, when Israel came up, they both like that was like the liveliest that they were in the entire debate, and they both like put up like hands ready to punch each other. Like, who loves Israel more? Donald Trump came in with the I love Israel the most, motherfucker. 8 of my 10 grandkids are Jewish, bitch. And Joe Biden just just fell to the ground. It was over. He fucking lost.
As an insult, I know, look, I know Americans, unfortunately, in general, don't care about Muslims, Palestinians, etc. But at least but young voters do. At least the young voters pick them up. He's giving them to you. And he can't. He didn't do that. He didn't do anything else. Trump says one maniacal thing after another. Biden comes back, I could beat you in golf. The split screen killed him, John. They're showing both of them. And while Trump is talking, Biden's got his mouth open. Look, here. On behalf of the Democratic Party, I throw it in. Biden's done. If you go with this guy, guaranteed loss. And by the way, everyone in Democratic leadership, if they stick with Joe Biden, should be fired after the election. You know why they're doing this? You know why they put up this feeble old man, this elder abuse that they're doing right now? Because understand something that's so important in politics and nobody ever tells you. Joe Biden's already president. He retires as President Biden for the rest of his life, okay? But everyone around him, if there's a different candidate, they all lose their power. They're not going to be able to work for Governor Gavin Newsom or Governor Josh Shapiro.
I wanted more screaming. Maybe this guy will scream. Scream for me. Scream for me, fat boy.
Everyone in Democratic leadership is.
I've never watched a debate. And
oh my God, look at this faggot.
Why
did he has gray hair? And I can't tell if it's their studio or if he's put plum colored dye into it to make it a little bit pink. It's fucking hideous. This guy needs to be punched in the face until he regains his senses.
Immediately tagged into it. I have said many times, and I will say, how could Jake Tapper and Dana Bash possibly let some of those insane lies, repeated lies go by without fact checking? He passed veterans' choice. But that was passed under Obama. He's been telling that lie for literally years. They know it's a lie, but they've clearly been ordered to not do any fact checking. But that said, while I will criticize them, they're not going to fact check.
Nobody cares.
So it's on Biden. And
Trump could say he did literally anything. Nobody gives a shit. I love the way that they have their head spins. Nobody cares about your fucking facts and logic. Your studies are fucking gay. I got some shit later in the stream. It's nobody cares about any of that shit. He could take credit for 9/11. That would be really funny. People would probably vote for him more if he took credit for 9/11. He's well, I saw the World Trade Centers and I thought, wow, that's an ugly building. Ugly building. I was against it the whole time. I thought they were the ugliest buildings in the skyline. And I said to Osama bin Laden, I said, Osama, we got to do something about the towers. The towers is hideous. You can't sell T-shirts and mugs with the skyline on it anymore because the towers is just so fucking ugly. And he says, Mr. Trump, Mr. Trump, I have always revered you and respected you as a businessman. And I can get rid of the towers for you. And I was like, okay, Obama, you can go ahead and do that, and then I'll vote for you. I'll nominate you for president. I'll endorse you for president. It'll be a done deal. And it happened, and I took responsibility for that. Everyone would be like, yes, I agree. You know what's in the Twin Towers? A bunch of Jews and New Yorkers. Republicans don't give a fuck. Vote for him. He wins.
he didn't take any of those opportunities. You identified a few. We could go through almost any of the times that Trump spoke. There was an amazing opportunity for you to score some points, to make Trump look insane, and he didn't take literally any of them. But honestly, I can't even be that mad at him. My dog has had accidents at various points throughout his life, and now he's at the point where he has no control over his bladder whatsoever, and he wears diapers all day long because he's 15 years old. We don't get mad at him. How could we expect him to be able to control himself? How could you expect Joe Biden to do any better than he did? He's older than my dog in dog years. And that's, again, as you said, that was the best case scenario. And the reason that we're immediately talking about replacing him, it isn't fundamentally about the debate, especially because I can't conceive of there being a second one. It's because this is who Joe Biden is, and it is fully representative of his ability to beat Trump in every other avenue of the election. His convention speech is gonna be nothing. He's not gonna be able to go out and meet people. He's not gonna be able to do rallies. If they do another debate, it'll be another disaster.
Please, I want nothing more. I want nothing more than to see Joe Biden do like, oh, Mr. Biden, things are looking bad. We got to get you out there. We got to show people your spirit, your liveliness, your energy, your youth and vigor. Let's go out to a safe hold. We're going to go to Detroit. We're going to go to Minneapolis. We're going to shake some hands. I would love it. He goes out there and starts shaking hands and he shits himself loudly, visibly shits himself. I want like 8 angles of this. I want him just to stop and freeze mid handshake, stare off into the distance, and then and then everyone sees it. Visible reaction, disgust, people vomiting, retching in the audiences, people reeling away. I want like a back one where you can see the pants filling up in real time. I need to see the President of the United States of America shit himself on live television. And then I want to hear people on Twitter say that it's AI, it's a Russian bot thing. I need to see this. I have suffered. This country suffers. And if we're going to continue to suffer, that's fine. But something funny needs to happen, and Biden needs to shit himself. Skip ahead. This guy is boring, and he's fucking gay, and I don't like him. Is that just these two? Where's Anna Kasparian? She's supposed to be crying on television. Is there like a replay? Oh, it doesn't show the replay buffer anymore. Just skip ahead. Skip to a completely random
candidate. Yeah, okay, I'm done with it. Because if you don't believe that if you think that that's the best candidate the Democrats have in this country, you're a full-blown lunatic. Sorry. And I don't care if you say, oh, Jay,
Kasparian doesn't work for the Young Turks anymore? Are you fucking joking? Did I mention that? Because, really? Huh.
I'm not going to watch Young Turks anymore. I just want to show that he'll lie to me. Please lie to me and tell me that was a beautiful, dynamic candidate and we got this thing locked up. No, he was already disastrously behind. He's losing every single swing state. And now after this debate, good night, Irene.
But they're not going to go on TV and say Joe Biden killed it. They're just not going to talk about Joe Biden. They're going to do the other side of it, which we'll do, which is acknowledge the insane lies and the conspiratorial things that Trump said and his refusal to answer questions, and all of that is true. And they will pretend that Biden didn't need to appear there. He didn't need to convince anyone. And that's, I think, how they're going to try to get through the situation.
No, John, we do this after every debate. We tell you what reality is, and then we'll find the polls for you, because you'll see right after a debate, and every poll.
I was just sucking his own dick. Fuck you, Chang. What else we got? Talked about that. What's this one? Oh God. I got two. Okay, so it is June 29th. So this is the final week. I will not be streaming again in Pride Month. So this is the end of Pride Month. And we're seeing a little bit of a sudden surge, a last-second surge of faggotry, as people rush to pretend they actually did care about Pride Month this entire month, as if nobody did anything, and now they have to back it up and be like, wait a second, no, we totally did shit. Sony says, today we highlighted our important partnership with iEquality, an organization that works tirelessly to provide just and I think they mean justice. Provide justice and equality for all LGBTQIAP+ and HIV positive immigrants. There's a non-profit organization just to make sure that the biggest faggots, HIV pos-loaded faggots on the planet, can get into the United States with justice and equality. For 30 years, immigration equality has promoted justice and equality. That's the name of it. Okay, I mean, I assume by the name that you have equality. Has promoted justice and equality for LGBTQIP+ and HIV-pos immigrants. Sony has formed a dynamic partnership with Immigration Equality to improve and sustain its direct legal services, administrative advocacy, and impact litigation for LGBTQIP+ migrants. That's like the worst possible thing. Like, as far as like the DEI shit is concerned, like, okay, you want to support like people who have their assholes blown out so bad that they can't shit themselves. Like, if you that would be funny. If you ran like an organization and they came at you and were like, hey, can we do something for Pride? Pride's like so trendy. Can we do something for Pride? And then you like sponsor like a fecal incontinence organization. Like, we provide anal seepage products, diapers, adult diapers for adult men who have had their anus completely ruined by cock, and then they promote that and say, like, look, we do care about the gay people. So this is where your money went to if you bought that stupid fucking game that you knew was going to be fucked with to begin with. All you fanboys are like, I'm going to buy this fucking PS5 game. That's they got titties in them. They got all mad. Well, your money went to funding just inequality for LGBTQIA plus and HIV positive immigrants and shit. There was something that I wanted to play. That's someone I posted in this thread, and I'm not. Oh no, that's not it. It was like a video that someone posted, and I was like a writer to this, and I completely forgot what it was. Oh, it was Oh, geez, maybe I can find this on YouTube real quick. I don't think so, because I bet you this is. Oh no, it is. I found it. Yeah.
Pause loads.
I miss Commonfelt. One more time.
Pause loads.
We need the immigration. Thanks to Sony, more immigrants can take
Pause loads.
and give
Pause loads.
in their love and their love for each other as they try to fight for a new future for themselves, so that they can spread their
Pause loads.
with other people in the United States. It's really beautiful. It's so beautiful. Tractor Supply, however, did not decide to support any pause loads. Apparently, they gave $100,000 to an activist group that worked around the clock to stop deportations during the Trump presidency. The group is the Connection Americans. Their founder also previously headed the National Council of La Raza, which got $2 million from George Soros. This resulted in this man doing a soy jack pog face in front of a background, because apparently that's how TikTokers communicate in current year, showing that the stock price for Tractor Supply had fallen 10% in a single week as a result to this news, which resulted in Tractor Supply issuing a statement regarding their support for immigrant purposes, saying, "For more than 85 years, Tractor Supply has been focusing on one thing, serving life out here. Every day, our 50,000 team members take care of customers like family. We deeply value our relationship with customers, blah, blah, blah." This second paragraph says, like, we understand that we fucked up. And then they outline what they're going to do to remedy the situation, saying, going forward, we will ensure our activities in giving tie directly to our business. For instance, this will mean 1. No longer submit data to the Human Rights Campaign. 2. Refocus our team member engagement groups on mentoring, networking, and supporting the business. 3. Further focus on rural American priorities, including agriculture, education, animal welfare, veteran causes, and being a good neighbor, and stop sponsoring non-business activities like pride festivals and voting campaigns. 4. Eliminate DEI roles and retire our current DEI goals while still ensuring a respectful environment. And 5. Withdraw our carbon emission goals and focus on our land and water conservation efforts. So basically, their reaction to the boycott and the 10% drop in equity was, and it makes sense, because it's like the reason why these companies do all this gay retarded shit and these DEI ambitions is that it's supposed to make you money. Like when you take the, where is it?
Pause loads.
You're supposed to get a lot of cash for it as a result. Your stock is actually supposed to go up. And that way you have millions of more dollars to reinvest into your company, because you can then sell like a part of it and take that money and make more money with it. That's how the economy works. So if you're losing money because you're being boycotted and your stock is going down, which kind of indicates, by the way, there's been speculation that the DEI shit has been on the downtrend because the BlackRock, their DEI fund has gone away. They called it something else. I forgot what it was called, but BlackRock shut that down. And now when companies act super fucking gay and retarded, their stock value doesn't go up, and regardless of the consumer impact that has, which indicates to me that things are breaking. The free money printer is shut off. BlackRock is having to actually care about their bottom lines, and you're seeing that with a lot of companies where it's like, okay, now we have to block ad blockers to try and squeeze every dime that we can out of our consumer base. Like, you can see a tangible effort in every company, from the investment funds to the tech companies to hardware stores, saying we need to make money. We can no longer, and we can't make money by just pretending to be really fucking gay and getting free BlackRock money, because BlackRock is also trying to make money. And that whole facade is coming down. Too little, too late, as far as I'm fucking concerned, considering the immigration supply. But I think that a lot of those economic migrants will just, I hope, this is my copium, I hope that when we hit recession hard and things get really difficult, and there are suddenly all these people who just moved to the country, we're going to have a mass exodus of immigrants who are going to say, like, this is worse than it was in Colombia. We came up from Venezuela and Panama and Colombia and El Salvador, and now we are in this country where blacks are killing people at the rate that criminal gangs were in Latin America. We're surrounded by half the country being white, and they hate us. There's no fucking money here. There's barely any money. And then we have to pay taxes, and the federal government here is actually big enough that we actually have to pay tax, and we can't just deal money under the table because they outlawed cash, and now we have to go through apps where they automatically deduct income tax from us. Like, that's going to be the situation. I think that's going to drive out millions and millions of people. That is my copium. There's something else I was going to mention in regards to Tractor Supply in particular. I found it funny that they eliminated all DEI in the company. So there must have been a breaking point where the CEO was like, "Look, you really, really, really pressured me. This is my headcanon. The CEO is like, you pitched this shit to me, deliberated over it for months, showed me all these graphs saying that stock go up, green line go up. Any kind of consumer pushback is negligible and doesn't impact the bottom line. I consent to this. In a week, we get boycotted. Our stock value goes down 10%. We see a determinate loss of income from the boycott across our businesses. You see unhappiness within the employee base of people not okay with this. You really fucked up. So, and we hired all these people, to make things gayer in the company, and our team members hate them. They hate these fucking, like, neighbor faggots and in the business telling them to be gayer, So everybody is pissed off, and I don't even make any money from it. So now we're going to get rid of all of the neighbor faggots, and we're going to change all of our... I'm not going to cancel our charity. We're just going to redirect them. I really like... the carbon emission goals to water and land conservation efforts. I am a big fan of, like, natural conservation, but I think that, like, the air quality shit, it's like mysticism. Like, the whole carbon emission shit is like a fucking spiritual movement. You can conserve nature, reintroduce species, help foster, like, the American bison and shit that's basically gone extinct. You can do all that and notice it and see the improvements in air quality and water quality and shit. You can, sponsor parks that people can visit, and that has, like, an actual tangible impact in quality of life. Whereas the carbon emission shit is just like, it's like fantasy. Like, how the fuck do you measure carbon emissions? What kind of impact does that actually have? I am a fan of that. And if you want to fight carbon emission, there's nothing better than that, than clean air or clean water and healthy algae populations and land devoted to natural resources, because timber filters out the CO2, obviously. So I like that. I think that this is a good sign, actually. I think it's a good sign for multiple reasons besides just, like, they're going to give money to veteran causes or whatever the fuck. It's more like this shows that the slush fund of BlackRock isn't finite, which is interesting. Okay, this was the thing that I hinted at. This is another really good sign. We're going to be nice and chill and full of copium today, chat. That's what's going to happen. We're going to pretend voodoo is real. We're going to pretend that BlackRock doesn't have infinite money. And we're going to pretend that medical science is waking the fuck up. There's a thread to this, but this article prompted Jesse Signal or Singal to do a little tweet chain. Basically, it's now becoming popular for researchers to say that not only are trans issues completely overblown, but the data that has backed up the government positions on distributing puberty blockers to children and such is outright falsified. It's not just wrong, it is deliberately and maliciously fabricated to mislead the public into making adverse medical decisions based off of popular societal opinion. So Jesse Singal reports, new from me. Oh, so he wrote this, actually. Sorry. I can't believe I fucked that up. New from me in The Economist, emails released during discovery in a youth gender medicine case demonstrate that the World Professional Association for Transgender Health interfered with the systemic reviews it commissioned from Johns Hopkins University. The emails are damning, showing that for many months, WPATH sought to control the output of the JHU team. It paid $200,000 to examine questions pertaining to transgender healthcare as the Standards of Care 8 was developed. The quotes couldn't be more explicit. Quote, Hopkins, as an academic institution, and I, as a faculty member therein, will not sign something that limits academic freedom in this manner, says Karen Robinson, head of the JHU effort. At one point, she consistently pushed back. The WPATH appeared to relent and signed a contract that gave it review/feedback rights but no real power to interfere. After Robinson's team submitted 2 manuscripts to WPATH in July 2020, however, WPATH responded that there were many concerns about the papers. WPATH claimed Johns Hopkins hadn't followed a policy that WPATH had created. As outlined in this flowchart, Johns Hopkins would submit its study design and results, and then WPATH would vote on whether to allow the team to proceed with completing and writing the study. So this is their flowchart. Step 1, submission, publication, and proposal to WPATH and link to Standard of Care 8 chapter. WPATH chairs proposal with chair and co-chairs. WPATH ensures vote within 30 days after dissemination of the proposal. President responds to author regarding outcome of vote. And then when manuscript draft ready for publication, author will submit publication to WPATH for similar approval processes. This is very like Soviet in design. Like we still need to innovate, but it needs to be done in accordance to party doctrine. So once the results are in, submit that to us, and then we'll decide what to do. Either publish it as is, or see if we can finagle a different conclusion with weasel words and shit, or if we're just going to drop this and pretend like it didn't happen. Jesse continues and says, this completely undermines the purpose and integrity of SRs. Robinson pushed back again, noting that contract did not give WPATH this power and it violated important principles of academic freedom and independence. But there's some evidence that she relented. Another discovery document indicates a checklist indicating WPATH team member was involved in the, quote, design, drafting, and final approval of the one paper Robinson and her team published after the new policy went into effect. The paper itself claims the opposite. So this is a contradiction, and this is an ethical violation in an academic study. They're saying that WPATH actually did design, draft, and finally approve the paper, whereas the paper itself says that's not the case. WPATH provided the research question and reviewed the protocol, evidence tables, and report. WPATH had no role in the study, design, data collection, analysis, interpretation, or drafting. The corresponding author had full access to all the data and had final responsibility for the decision to submit for publication. The authors are responsible for all content, and the statements in this report do not necessarily reflect the official views of the WPATH. So generally, when a study is commissioned and a nonprofit has $200,000, they say, hey, you guys are reputable. We would like you to do a study into XYZ. The academic researchers will say, okay, well, we're going to do that. And then we have these ethics that we follow to make sure that our data is accurate and ethically sourced and so on. In this instance, they violated that. They're trying to say that they followed that standard, that they did do the right thing, that they are being independent, and they are being neutral, and they are writing their conclusion to the actual findings of the report and not necessarily to the political leanings of the institution that commissioned the study. However, the reality is the opposite, that WPATH intimately involved themselves in the publication, drafting, and conclusions that were made from the data. So as to mislead the public into doing what they wanted to do. And that the Johns Hopkins University knew that they did this and knowingly lied in the process. All this suggests a corrupted evidence gathering process. While there are many gaps in the story, no one is talking. My article relies almost entirely from the documents. It's indisputable WPATH sought to interfere with the systemic reviews. Perhaps more damning, a fall 2020 WPATH co-authored by then incoming President Walter Baumann said research must be, quote, thoroughly scrutinized and reviewed to ensure that publication does not negatively affect the provision of transgender healthcare in the broadest sense. This, quote, is, as he said before, explicitly antithetical to what science is. Science is just the truth. It's the study of the truth. And when you are saying we're going to have studies and then we're going to lie about what the studies say, we're going to modify their outcomes in order to achieve a political gain, that is no longer science. So when they say trust the studies, here are all these studies about the safe and effective use of puberty blockers. They're literally fucking lying to you. The studies are not true. They are based off lies. They are authored in a way that is designed to tailor the activist goals, and it's just blatant. And we all knew this. I'm not saying this is like new information. Every one of us knew that these studies are fucking bullshit. That you have the replication crisis where 90% of studies are unreplicated, especially in social sciences. We knew that this is all bullshit. And yet it has been the foundation for how billions of dollars of pharmaceutical funds from taxpayer money is allocated. Thousands and thousands and thousands of kids are being fucked with based on the false studies conjured up by nonprofit organizations funded by malicious entities. And we all knew that this was happening, and we can now point to things and say, look, we know that this is happening. But it will be slow going. Like, even if you point to people and say, look, this is the way, they're not going to change their opinions. Someone who thinks that we should be giving, someone like Finster or Keffels, who thinks that we should be giving puberty blockers to children, is not going to look at this study and say, like, oh, I guess I'm wrong. I guess I'm just a sex pest who wants to give children transgender medication because it makes my pee-pee hard. Never happening. That's it. It was mostly... More of this will come out soon, but please read my article in the meantime. And just to be clear, his article is Research into Trans Medicine Has Been Manipulated on The Economist by Jesse Singal. Similarly, new research finds huge differences between male and female brains. I will just go to the juicy graph here. There's two of them, actually. They fed data from... I'm not sure what kind of data. Does it say? To Über den psychologischen Schwachsinn des Weibes regarding the psychological weak-mindedness of women from Mobius. So they fed a bunch of MRI data into AI and said, can you tell which are men and which are female? And based off of the data, the computer was able to determine that there is a complete and total segregation of the way a male and female mind is. There is no overlap. There is no gradient. There are no men with women's brains. There are no women with men's brains. There's no people who are non-binary somewhere in between. The thesis put forward by the sex pests in dresses known as trannies, that they were simply born into the wrong body, that they're a tortured soul who was given the wrong hormones and identity at birth, is completely, totally fucking a lie. This is actually more... Obviously, I'm the boss of transphobes, and I knew that there was a distinction between men and women. But I kind of, in my head, I had this idea that there probably were people who are like fucked in the head, and somewhere in the middle, there is not. There is a total and clear separation between the male and female mind. You do not have people who are fucked in the head and exist somewhere in a gradient. You have people who are fucked in the head and believe that they exist somewhere in the gradient, and there is no commonality between them. As if to say, to be clear, unless I'm being ambiguous here. Let me pull it up. I know it by head, but I gotta check myself. You will never be a real woman. You have no womb, you have no ovaries, you have no eggs. You are a homosexual man twisted by drugs and surgery into a crude mockery of nature's perfection. All the validation you get is two-faced and half-hearted. Behind your back, people mock you. Your parents are disgusted and ashamed of you. Your friends laugh at your ghoulish appearance behind closed doors. Men are utterly repulsed by you. Thousands of years of evolution have allowed men to sniff out frauds with incredible efficiency. And now we may add to this, you do not have a woman's brain. You are just retarded. You are literally mentally ill, and you're not mentally ill in the way that you have exist somewhere on a gradient between man and woman. You are literally just a man that thinks he exists on a gradient between man and woman. Sucks to be you. This one's also funny. The AI was able to identify pretty consistently that based on certain indications, a woman's or a man's IQ is pretty easy to predict, and a woman's IQ is not so easy to predict. So it was able to correlate specific data points with intelligence with men, but with women it's not so clear cut. That's interesting to me. I don't know. And there's more of a range on that mode, by the way. It goes from like negative. There's like one really dumb bitch in that in that model that's like way out on the side, out of the middle, who's properly fucking retarded. That must be Shaniqua. And then you have like most are in that normal range, but the the actual dispersion is like way wider than with men. But most are closer to the center. Then, Surus, ready for TMG. This was requested of me. Content creators all agree, get politically involved, make change, and canv ass. So here we have a lovely ensemble of bread tumors. I love how much of a faggot Vouch looks. Like when he does like his Lenin cosplay on stream and he's got like the downward angle, he kind of passes for like a communist. But when he's like standing, I don't know what it is. He just looks like such a nerd. Why is he such a nerd with his like shorts and like high cut socks and shit? There's a bunch of trannies in this, obviously. That guy on the back left, he is a transgender model. He does really creepy modeling shit. And then this one right here, oh, he's special. If you don't remember, he's the Twitch streamer who adopted a child and chest feeds him. Oh, isn't that lovely? He took progesterone, so now he can chest feed his adopted baby chest fluid with the modern science. So magic. So here we have the great thinkers of our time, a true complot of incendiary young voices ready to set the world ablaze with a new red dawn. Be politically active, chat. You better be careful what you fucking wish for. You tell people to be politically active, they're gonna start firebombing the ATF in Minecraft. I think that it would benefit you people to be as unpolitically for the average American to be as unpolitically involved as humanly possible. I have a feeling that most people's opinions of politics as it is very, very low. And the only reason why things don't change is because the average person just wants to pretend they don't exist. It's really to your benefit. It's to your benefit that the status quo stay the same and that the voter turnout rate for the general election to be like 15%. It really is to your fucking benefit. Kid Bandit, by the way, has a thread now, and he relented about this on social media. He says, oof, okay, so this was bound to happen sooner or later, so I'm just going to make a post about it now. There's a Twitter account in Joseph Tranny that got made specifically to paint me in a negative light. They're using my dead name and using inappropriate pictures of me. And then he says, I got arrested in 2021 for pointing a firearm at a dude that hit my car with a bat. The charge was dropped and the case was expunged as it is deemed justified, but the subsequent stress from the legal proceedings of that I went through has also helped me develop my views. Kid Bandit, I am almost 100% sure that I know that name because I am so certain that Jim Sterling, who I haven't listened to in a long time, by the way, because he got so fucking gay that I just couldn't listen to him anymore. There's basically no video game content to his videos anymore. He just seeds about politics and tranny shit and talks about it, how milkable his breasts are, and it's just a bit too much for me now. Even me. Even I. It's a bit too much for even me, chat. What was I talking about? Oh, this guy. I'm pretty sure that he does wrestling sets with Jim Sterling. I could be wrong. Let me look this up, actually. Kid Bandit, Jim Sterling. The Stardust. Ah! Oh my god. I'm so smart. I got a functioning brain and shit, chat. Look at this. Commander Sterling versus Kid Bandit won the Queer Match of the Year award. I am very, very happy. And here we go. The Queer Match of the Year award. Stardust versus Kid Bandit. This right here is the absolute extent of my wrestling knowledge. I have more intimate understanding of tranny wrestling via Jim Sterling than I do WWE and the guy that can't see and Horse John, the famous Horse John who comes in with the chair. This is where my wrestling knowledge. This is like the center of gravity for my wrestling knowledge. Do they tickle fight? No, they do really embarrassing shit. It's all play pretend. Like they lift each other up and shit and slam each other on the ground and do like chokeouts and stuff. But it's all like it's fake. It's like fake and choreographed. Which I mean, in and of itself, if you enjoy fake and choreographed wrestling shit and the soap opera drama, more power to you. Someone explained to me though that in Jim Sterling's wrestling, he's really bad. Which I mean, he was like a cripple. He had like a slipped disc or something. He literally lifted up a box while moving, and injured his back. So he has like a bad back, and he's trying to do like slams and shit. I had someone. I think I read this on the stream once, but a guy who was big into wrestling and amateur wrestling, which is outside the WWE. It's just like people having fun and stuff. He was talking about how Jim's set is very embarrassing, how there are certain moves that everyone in wrestling should know and should be able to perform. And when Jim Sterling published like his demo reel of like his highlight reel of like him doing wrestling stuff, it was all extremely bad, extremely phoned in, obviously fake. Like, I think the thing is that even though everyone knows it's fake, you're supposed to be able to suspend your disbelief, like with a movie. Like, movies are fake, but we still watch movies and enjoy them. Wrestling is kind of the same thing. You're supposed to have action pieces and moves that are convincing, even if they're fake. Especially like the way that he has. Oh, for instance, this is a great example. I remember now. You're supposed to do this thing where you get slammed, and you have to slam yourself safely on your back on the mat. And when you do this, it's supposed to make like a bang, bam. Like you want to, people in the audience want to hear the slam. They want to feel like it's real. You actually got slammed on the ground. So the way you have to do this is you have to jump up, orient your center of gravity onto your back, and then safely smack against the mat. And I forget, this has a name to it. But Jim Sterling does this, and it's like obviously fake. It's like not real. And when a real wrestler, when they're trying to do this performance, it's much different. So he doesn't understand the fundamentals of wrestling and making it appealing. And he was so the guy, I remember this, all of this because the guy that explained it to me was so passionate about it. And I admire people who love things. And unlike me, I'm full of hate and anger all the time. So when I see someone with genuine love for something, it takes me back and implants a memory. But he went on about how it's embarrassing for him as someone who's in the industry who does amateur wrestling to see people like Jim Sterling get so much attention in the circuit because it's like humiliating. It makes people look worse. It's like he doesn't want the idea of an amateur wrestler to be Jim Sterling. So he was very upset about it. And he apparently does actual things where people pay him to show up as opposed to Jim Sterling who inflicts himself onto the into different arenas. Was it Tonkasaw? No, it was not Tonkasaw. It was just some guy on the forum. Let me read some chat, actually. I can't see it from here. I was just kind of leaned back enjoying myself. Sterling's signature move is the reach around. Taking a bump. That's it. That's the name of it. Taking a bump. You have to make it look like you got hit, and you're going to hit that mat, and you're going to go bam. And everyone's going to go, wow, I can feel the force of him hitting that mat. Gives some realism, some enjoyment to the audience. Cool. What was next? Next arena. now that I've talked about nonsense for an hour, we can talk about more nonsense. Someone requested this of me. As I said, not much happening, so let's watch some weird shit. Today, we're going to zoom back into the swastika of Japan and see some Japanese nonsense. You ready? So apparently the guy filming this, just to give you some insight, this guy's a locale in Japan. He is one of those people that thinks he's being gang stalked, and he believes that his neighbors are gang stalking him. So he was just chilling out on his balcony in Japan, as they do apparently. And he spits on the woman, who's like a middle-aged woman that lives next door, because he thought she was observing him for the purposes of the gang stalking. And this is the closest thing to a Japanese nigu moment, and it's pretty interesting to watch because it's so like out of my realm. Can someone explain to me what those ropes are? Is that like wiring? Is that like a power plant or something across the street? Why is there like a wire? From what I understand, the way that this is written says that he records of his video getting yelled at by his neighbors. So I would think, as administrator of the Kiwi Farms, if I'm watching a video of a guy and he's going like, doing like his best Japanese Zelensky impression, I would assume he is the subject. But no, the guy recording is apparently such a menace that he has mentally broken this Japanese man, who is now about to take out his fucking samurai sword and decapitate him in a rage. Dude, conversational Japanese is like completely different. I watched a movie, and it was Japanese. I can't remember what it was. And I remember thinking like, wow, this sounds like an anime. It sounds like like that's how they talk. And then you listen to the actual like Japanese of like people just having like an argument, and it's like the most guttural like chimp noises, like that sounds way different than the fucking media depiction of the Japanese language. How does the human brain is truly amazing to take and translate those waves into like human information. It's truly a remarkable thing. Dude, if I hear Ebonics, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. There are legit. I've met black people in my life who have spoken such an indistinct form of pidgin that I have no fucking idea what they've said. Like they grew up in Pensacola or Mobile, and they're talking to me about some shit, and I'm like, buddy, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about because you ain't speaking no English. Dude, I'm really enjoying this video just because I like hearing their sounds. I mean, those eyes. 하민너스 허준다 혼자 닌도나 나이 허준다 닌노다. That sounds so good, so primal. Whatever the fuck that means, he means it for real. He's about to fucking 허준도 민도나. What are they actually saying? I don't fucking know. Someone in chat said that he was saying, "I'll kill you." I see a lot of chat sympathy for the gang stalking man. Hearing it through the wall is so threatening. They're like from this perspective, it's like in Outlast where you have the video camera and there's like the big guy hunting for you. Like I can hear these Japanese people through my walls. I know that they're talking about me, and I don't know what they're saying. I can barely hear them. I have no idea what they're saying. It's very intimidating. Apparently says at some point, according to chat, you're not even Japanese. And someone else in chat said, like, was confused and it says, is he from Chiba or something? And I don't know what the fuck that means. What is Chiba? I'm gonna look it up. A Chinese Ibandan group of companies. So apparently Chiba is a Chinese like workforce export. So it's like it might be a Chinese worker in Japan. I believe that's what they try and say. Chiba is also a place in Japan. I was aware that there's a Shiba. Is there also a Chiba? Chiba Prefecture in Japan. It's a city. Why would they not be Japanese then? Like, if it's a place in Japan, why would they say you're not even Japanese? Why do they hate the Chibas? Explain this to me, chat. Okay, now, so this video became a meme on the internet because it's very, very funny. You don't even have to know what they're saying to laugh at this because it's just like the most guttural fucking Japanese you've ever heard. So they, the Japanese people began gang stalking him for real. Here, a masked man comes up and decides to give him what I believe is a bag of chips. He just offers him the bag of chips, silently. So this is sort of like Drakenlord, but in Japan. That appears to be corn? What did that say? Hold on, let's make this bigger. Hotel curry. So we got some chips. We got some curry. I think that's some noodle. If it has Japanese on it, it's in a package, I'm going to assume it's noodles. Soda. It's weird. Japanese trolling is like just menacingly giving someone groceries. And very politely leaving. I guess... He didn't give him the groceries, chat. Oh no! Dude, if this happened in the United States, this guy would be fucking dead. He would be so fucking dead. It's not even funny. You charge at someone like that in the US, you're gonna die. You're gonna fucking die.
Oi!
He's holding up his phone. I don't know what it says though. Oh, he has dead ringers, so he would be fine. Okay. Ah! He licked his door camera. Oh, he just licked his camera for real, like in his hand. Why is there like a rice field right there? Someone said that's a school across the rice field, and then you have like a rice field right there. It's like picking up shit out of the gutter in the rice field. So Japan is like so limited on like agricultural space, they just grow rice in like random fields. Taiwan also has urban rice fields. Okay. We're learning so much about Japan today, chat. Japan kind of looks like Eastern Europe, except it has more rice fields. Like this looks a lot like some parts of like Serbia and Ukraine.
の前に覆面をした怪しいやつがいます。わかりました。今まだいますか？います。何人いますか？一人います。お待ちくださいね。
Is he talking to the police?
お前警察来るまで待ってろよ。おるここにおる。目の前におるわ。目の前にいる。あなたのことがないですか？おなんかこいつなんか凶器持ってますよ。どんなもの持ってますか？なんだこれなんか挟むやつ今カチカチやってますわこいつ
Why do you have a power supply unit for a computer?
なんか
What the fuck are on his feet? He's wearing like Dutch wooden clogs or something. This guy is buff though.
待てよ
He's like picking up random trash.
待てよお前あ、俺です。ないです。
I'm enjoying this. This is relaxing for me. You're only listening. He's imagine like Eastern Europe, but with rice fields, and your first-person perspective of a schizophrenic. And there's a buff Japanese dude in a mask and a fedora, walking around with tongs, picking trash up out of the ground and out of the rice field into a plastic bag that has a computer's PSU in it.
Mm, そんなような形ですね。覆面して怪しいので来てください。今もう警察官をそちらの方に向かわせる手続きはもう取ってありますので。ああ、そうですか。そのまま見ながらで結構ですので、どっち方向に走って逃げちゃうということもあり得るので、このまま電話つなげたままでもいいですか？いいです。ちなみにその男の近くに車ってありますか？
He's not very intimidated by this gang stalker.
お前なんか何で来た？自転車で来たみたいです。
The police showed up. Oh my god. This guy is so audacious that he will sit there with the guy on the police, and then the police show up, and he's like, okay, well, what are you doing? And he's just going to talk to the police and like show him his bag. He's like, I'm over here with tongs picking up trash, sir. I'm going to assume that the cop said like something like, don't worry about it, or it's not dangerous or whatever. And he's like, what do you mean it's not dangerous?
誰かが110番すると金になるんか。はい。
Hoi!
騒ぎを起こして110番させて、なんだお前ら、金になるんか。
He's exasperated because he finally thought he had caught one of the gang stalkers red-handed. And then the police show up and they're just like, he's not doing anything illegal. We can't really do anything about him. In fact, you're the one that's out here talking to him. You could just go back up to your house. And they probably know this guy. Probably calls him lots of shit, so they're probably just annoyed with him.
すげえなお前ら。はえ。
His way of talking is like so exasperated. Like, Hoi, go da.
鳴らさずに来たお前ら。おいどっかに隠れとったんだろおめえら。面白いやつらだなこの気違いども。
That cop is probably asking him to fuck off. It's like, you're scaring this mentally ill man. You're not doing anything illegal, but you're not, it's really not nice to do this to him.
そんでこいつよ、こいつチャイム鳴らしたぞうちのチャイム。こいつ、うちのチャイム鳴らしたってこんな格好してこれ。
Imagine the other officer's now like, okay, well, you just have to leave him alone. Yeah, okay, he's gonna leave because the cops told him to fuck off.
これチャイム鳴らしたってこいつこんな格好して。
He's upset because he's not being arrested. I understand what's happening here. I've seen this.
チャイム鳴らしたって。要件あったか分からんけど。事件じゃないのか。分かった分かった。もういいわ。
And then the cop asked him to stop recording because, yeah, that's very weird. Never seen anything quite like that. In part because you probably can't do shit like that outside of a. Sorry, I'm not talking about on Ziglag or whatever the fuck. Probably can't get away with shit like that in the US. That was cute. That was a nice little detour. Kevin Gibes has deactivated his Blue Sky account for the second time, but did not reactivate it at all today. Kevin, a man who has posted incessantly for 16 hours a day for well over a decade, has had no outline for his gormless thoughts for over a day. No one but TCS knows, which is trans commie scum. I guess we'll go through this. What's the name of this account? Trans commie scum. Okay. Learning more about Cat Salamander, Penny Logue, and Jin Norintha's ranch this morning, and oh my god, did they neglect 200 alpacas to death while hanging out with fucking Keffals? I guess I'm lucky all I got was SA and regrets. I could have been dragged into this shit. He's like, at least I only got raped. I didn't know that the Tranch had hung out with Keffals, though. This is Penny's Waco. I did a whole stream about this. I guess, this is like a tranny call out on like another tranny. This place sounds like such a nightmare. I'm honestly surprised at all, though. There's a reason that I rejected the fuck out of these people. There's a thread that I've been made aware of telling lies about the ranch. It's not really worth drawing any more attention to it, but I'll address one thing that was mentioned. Please direct your claims that we're a white colonist settle utopia to the Peruvian person helping run this place. Oh my god. You can't call us racist because we have a Peruvian friend. Dude, the she-her patch on the tack vest. I'm putting together a list of shit that I want to buy when I get back to the US, and it won't be on July 4th, sorry to say. So it's being pushed back. Oh, they even have like the Rebel Star Wars thing on his hat. That's so embarrassing. But I was talking to people in the thread, and I was talking about how I had heard that one of the issues raised in the Ukraine war was that NATO was concerned that 5.56 was no longer penetrating modern body armor. And I was wondering what people had thought about getting, because most AR platforms, and if you were like fresh off the boat, you just arrived to the United States from Ukraine or whatever. You've never touched a gun in your entire life, but you're all about it. You're like, I'm going to integrate the fuck into the United States. I'm going to become countryman. I'm going to buy a weapon. And then you go to like a gun store and say, good sir, I want gun. I want Second Amendment gun for house. What do I buy? The gunman will be like, well, you should probably get yourself an AR platform, depending on your budget. If it's, you can get an AR from somewhere between $700 to splurge on. If you want a Daniel Defense for $3,000, I got one of those. But generally, you're gonna want them chambered in 5.56, because that offers also fires a 2.203. So you can get one of these for cheap, real fast right here. So and that's what like an immigrant who has no idea about fucking guns would end up with. He'd get like a cheap but reliable AR platform chambered in 5.56. And that's what basically everybody recommends to everybody for home defense. Get a 5.56 AR platform, and then they hotly debate what kind of attachments and shit you get for it. But AR 5.56, basically what everybody says for home defense rifle. So my concern was that I had heard that 5.56 was no longer able to penetrate level 4 body armor, and when I brought this up, a lot of people were in disbelief. They're like, well, level 4 is expensive, but it's only like a couple $100. It's like if you're gonna try and kill somebody, why would you not get level 4 and spend $300, $400 for a plate, as opposed to not doing that? And this was hotly debated. A lot of people were like, it's not like you need a license. Like if you want to get like certain weapons in the U.S., you have to get a National Firearms Act license. Whereas you can just pick up level 4 plates off eBay. Like you can get them off Amazon, right? So there's not like a barrier of entry for that. And I was very concerned about getting a 5.56 because my thought is, if someone's going to come to my house in my swamp and try to invade my home for the purposes of intimidating me or killing me to stop the forum, they would have level 4 body armor. So it's like, well, what am I going to get to stop that? And that was like a huge debate that people brought me into, where it's like, well, you should still get 5.56 because that's the most logical home defense gun. And then you should learn to aim for the hip or like the shoulders, which I didn't find particularly persuasive. But yeah, then I asked people about the 6. There's another NATO round that's coming up that's like the Spitfire chambered in 6mm something. And they said that was like too expensive because they call them the other thing that you want like a lot of ammo because you expend thousands of rounds in like a firefight. So it's like you have to be careful what round you get it in, because 5.56 is also cheap. Whereas if you get a 6 something millimeter, you're going to be paying like a level 4, or you're going to be paying like $1 a bullet. So you can't even like fire it to get good at it. So I don't know. If you have gun suggestions, and please keep it short. People send me like 10 paragraph essays about weapons and stuff. Here's my thought. So I'll roll out a lot of emails because people have already sent me emails that I've responded to about guns. I'm going to get a 9mm. I'm going to get a shotgun, probably the Beretta. That's like, it's like automatic. It's not like you have to cock it each time or whatever. I'm probably going to get a 5.56 just because you have to have one. And then I might get either like a 7 something, whatever that one is, or a 50 BMG. I'm aware that there is a sniper rifle that comes in 50 cal. It's like, I think it's also made by Beretta, is the popular one of those. And that will pierce level 4 body armor. If I hit some, because the argument was that, okay, even if they have level 4 plates that don't get pierced, if you hit them with several 5.56 rounds at point blank, you're going to liquidize or blend their insides up. And it's like, I don't want to take that risk. I want to buy a 50 BMG sniper rifle. And I want to make it so that if I shoot somebody, it will pierce their armor and blow them into bits that are scattered across my swamp. Discuss this. Turning into rackets. Police do not even carry weapons for this scenario. On my screen are 3 people armed and carrying plate carriers that they could put level 4s in for a measly price of $300. And you mean to tell me? And by the way, Greta Gustava of Trans Lifeline, who perhaps more than anybody else on this planet has a actual motivation to kill me, who has shown up at my house with weapons to intimidate me and my family, is ex-army, who has military training and who has weapons experience. And people constantly like trying to downplay, like, no, you don't have to worry about that. I will worry about whatever the fuck I want. I will plan for an absolute maximum level of insanity, because that is the reality that I come down through. The training militia is stronger than the cops. The training militia knows that I am an insane person, that my swamp will have cameras in every direction, that I will have AI parsing through the live feed to detect things, because that's also a thing that you can do. And I will have a 50 BMG rifle. Real talk, if you want anti-armor, they make bunker buster 12-gauge shotgun slugs. That was the other thing. I was going to with the shotgun, I was thinking that what I would do is you can just buy regular rounds for the shotgun, but then they also make titanium slugs, and these are very expensive. It's like $2 for a single bullet. But you don't have to, like, I assume they fire very much the same as a regular round. So if you learn how to shoot the shotgun, you can replace that with a titanium slug, that you keep by your dresser or whatever, so that you can just pop it in when the AI alarms go off. And then whatever you hit with that will literally explode. Will emulsify. I mean, for everyday carry, you just have a 9mm. But if you're at your house, I don't know why people talk about, like, how much of a meme is it though? It's like, if it's a gun, it's a gun. It means a lot, actually. Total depleted uranium rounds would make them jello. I mean, if I can get those, I will get those. There's a really funny comment about how the gun market is in the US. I'm sure the gun market is fucking insane. I just want some staples, and then I want something where if I can see somebody approaching the house who has ignored the flashing warning sirens, because I will have sirens, and they will shout, "Leave the property, I'm about to fucking murder you," automatically, and I'll have a disguised voice so you don't know it's me. Josh, you will injure yourself with a 50 BMG. Why? Can you get an RPG? Dude, I'm going to apply for licenses to get suppressors, to get an RPG, to get hand grenades. I'm not joking. I can pass a background check. I've never committed a crime in my life. I will have firearms. I don't know why people are acting like I'm not serious about this. I am completely serious. And you're laughing and said, well, you can't handle the kickback of a 50 BMG break and get knocked on your ass. I don't care. If I get knocked on my ass, that's one thing. If they survive multiple rounds, that's another thing. Okay. Listen, okay. There's a mega rad gun thread in the general discussion. There's also my email. Provide me your thoughts. I want something that can pierce the strong. I want it so that if these trannies are playing Call of Duty Warzone and they're stacking 6 plates on top of each other, I want something that will pierce through all of them and still kill them. Okay? That's what's happening. I don't have any other gun opinions. I just want to stop it there. Speaking of guns, by the way, speaking of 50 caliber weapons.
Oh. Yeah. What a wonderful.
So this is Sam Hyde's fish tank 2.5 or whatever.
To drink.
They're out in the woods.
I have heard the ravens speak of your deeds upon the wind, but I have not met ye uninvited guests. I figure now is as swell a time as any that you meet the chess master behind your recent pursuits.
Oh, it is him. He's doing like a silly voice, but
So then, before I do the honor of introducing myself to thine, I will have you make the first blow.
It's obviously intentionally cringe, and I want to hold up real quick. Here we go.
Yes.
It's been so long. I have to pull up a video of it to double check.
Yes. I will do push-ups. Like working requires rapping. Okay. This one's for the Marine.
Dude, I forgot about this. He did push-ups, and then he like laid there for literally like 3 minutes.
Isn't that? Wow, you a bitch.
I need another video of him actually talking to determine this. If you don't know, a long time ago I did a stream on Parkour Dude, who not only was like a fake lolcow like during the Chris Chan was still really relevant. He was also like a huge MDE fan, and he was trying to get into like Sam Hyde's group, and that was like part of what he was doing. We found out after like a year, but he was also an admin on the forum for a long part of that time.
Shit, and why fucking... Oh, dude, sick. Had this copy of Counter-Strike, and I thought what a better way to use it than giving it to my favorite Marine. Please check out my fan art of Soap, Game On, The Beekeeper.
Oh, this is funny.
Dude,
I know what this
sick.
is.
Hell yeah, CS original, bitch. Okay, sick. Let me check this out, yo. Wait, it's not loading.
I hope that this is not...
It isn't loading for me.
This better be censored.
Wow. Why won't my wolf picture load? Come on. What is this? Why is it so big?
I'm very concerned that this might not be censored.
I can't even see it. Wow!
It's not censored, chat. I don't know why I thought this 10-year-old video on YouTube would be censored. It was not. So now I have to edit the video.
Fuck you! You're an asshole! You're an asshole!
Oh, I miss it so much. It hurts. Okay, I'm trying to figure out if this guy is the same guy as Jace.
Oh. If you seek to challenge him, I
it's
am
so
your
fucking
only
him.
path. Remember it, and remember the name. All who call upon me, when you hear the ravens come down for the feast, remember the name. I am Xavier Ravenblood, Lord of the Night.
I miss him so much, bros. He I don't remember, his story is really fucked up. When he was a kid, he got bunked on it. He had like seizures as a kid. I'm trying to remember how this goes. He had seizures as a kid, and then he suffered a concussion. He like bumped his head and had a concussion. And then his seizures stopped. And then there's that famous video of him where he toppled over his car and then like threatened to street race Brianna Wu to the grave. But in that car, he also suffered a concussion and it reactivated like his seizures. So he basically had to drop everything. Like that's why the Deagle Nation stuff ended, because he was like sick as fuck. He was having seizures all the time. He was like smoking weed and shit and just like completely zoned out. I hope he's doing better, man. I have nothing but love for him. Cool. I hope all the Shark Tank weirdos are enjoying the cringe. Okay, so this is a minor update about something I've never talked about before, but Blue Fulf is apparently like a big like furry like like a villain. Like all the furries hate him or her. She's like into giantesses and shit, and shat on a plate and filmed it. And did like a bunch of other terrible things that everyone hates. So she kind of like trended. I think it's actually a real woman, not a tranny, but she trended on like Twitter for like the furries. They all reacted. They all made fun of her. Said how fucking gross she is. And then she like just randomly came out and said, I am very sick. I am dying of liver failure. Just like out of nowhere. No, you can't make fun of me for being a weirdo who is exploitative and gross and weird. Because I have liver failure. Checkmate. And it seems to be that the popular opinion of this is that number one, this is bullshit. Number two, good if it's not. So that's the Blue Fulf update. If you're interested in really gross furries, I would recommend her thread because apparently it's a hot topic right now. I enjoy it. And one other thing. Actually, no, not even. So Meowthkip was a mod for the Kiwi forums for years. One of the first kind of big things that we took a hold of, and this is why the forum has always been kind of like counterculture towards the tranny shit before it was even a thing, was because, and this is so hard to explain in the current year. 10 years ago, trannies did not exist. I kind of mentioned this last podcast too, because I was talking about Tumblr. Trannies did not exist. We instead had Tumblr, or we had like drag queens, but it was just like gay people acting weird. And then you had like a couple very mentally ill transvestites that had been around and always had been around. But the whole like transgender craze did not really take up until it was popularized on Tumblr. And speaking of Tumblr, the pause load thing that I played earlier in the stream, that's from Common Filth Tumblrista videos, which are of the same time. Actually, I think I can do no cookie kiwiforums.st archive. Then go to, I think we have a Common Filth one. This is my secret archive, by the way. Oh yeah, you got the Tumblrista archive, chat. I think it's also on archive.org.
This idiot here says, so equality needs to fix something. If I have to keep seeing commercials about dirty vaginas, I better fucking see commercials about dirty dicks. Come on, people. We need feminism because men don't bleed out of their urethras for 7 days.
This guy just read Tumblr post, and they're all they seem so like asinine now, but they were like really gross and weird, and now they just became like the normal. Like all the horrific like woke shit that existed first started as like Tumblr posts, and now it's just like the zeitgeist. But Meowthkip was one of the users of Tumblr, and when we opened the Tumblr board and started poaching them for content. Meowthkip in particular had a very strong interest in someone called Vade, and I'm desperately trying to remember anything about Vade. Vade was just like a nasty weirdo on Tumblr, and Meowthkip really hated her. So she kind of took the reins of the Vade thread, and because Meowthkip was very nice and very easy to work with, I made her the mod of the Tumblr board, which she was for many years until we closed it, and then at that point, I think she stuck around for just a little bit more, and then eventually left. This thread is new, but like everyone knew about the Meowthkip stuff even back in the day, because Meowthkip linked her Tumblr blog, which is Cat Boundary, on her Kiwi Farms profile, and she drew like weird fan art. I think the one that sticks out in memory is that I think there's a picture she drew of the medic from Team Fortress 2 face fucking the spy, but the spy was like decapitated, so he was like face fucking its decapitated head, like that the medic was like holding in his hands. And other weird like yaoi gore type shit like that. Everyone knew about this, but I mean, I don't know. Meowthkip was easy to work with. But then this guy joins the forum years later, after Meowthkip has been gone, and apparently discovered that she had a forum thread, or had a forum account and was a mod, and rapidly tried to like stir up people into talking about her. And I think he like rushed out, he put out a thread, he started cross-posting his thread into other threads, and then also posted it directly into the articles and happenings board, or no, into the community happenings thread. And I think that his suspicion was that I would delete this or try to cover it up, but it's like we all knew. I knew about the Team Fortress 2 thing too. Like, I don't know. That's what Tumblr is. So if you need someone to moderate the Tumblr board and you want them to actually be interested in the topics that are going on, someone agreeable and easy to work with that is from Tumblr is probably going to have decapitated spy gore drawings. There wasn't any pedophile shit or anything, so I don't really care. But if there is a thread about it, if you want like a rundown, I don't know what to call this moderator because he changes his name every year. But right now he's 00. If you want to read about that, there's a new thread about this. She owns, by the way, a Sonichu medallion, and she recently came out just for this Pride Month. That she is now non-binary. Happy Pride! I'm coming out as she, they, non-binary bitches, which got 35 views and 1 like. And I think this is her. She's very autistic, obviously, in case it wasn't clear. But I think every moderator on the forum is autistic.
I'm a miss. Tim Heidecker. Yeah, you wanted me to talk about Isabel. Isabel is,
The dog?
she's so adorable.
Oh, she wants to fuck the Animal Crossing dog so goddamn bad. Every day she wakes up with 8 nuts busted in her boxers for Isabel.
You just want to, like, wrap her in, like, a blanket and just tell her to have the day off because she works so hard. She busts her ass and she beats up on herself all the time because it's like she never thinks that she's doing a good enough job, but she's doing more work than probably anybody else in the town.
It's so weird how autistic people develop like unrequited love affairs with fictional characters. I guess because I guess when you like know a fictional character, there's kind of a thing where it's like when you think about a fictional character, oftentimes they're flawless. Like in the game, they're not really presented with negative character traits that are like off-putting in a way. Like Isabel doesn't have a violent temper where she throws beer at you. You know what I mean? So like her character flaw is that she's like a workaholic. So then the autist like fills in all the gaps in his or her mind about how wonderful Isabel must be. And because it's a fictional character, it can never hurt you like a real person can. It's kind of an interesting thing. Cool. It's 2 different X mods that I talked about today. That's a record. Oh, one more thing. The Dr. Disrespect situation has not necessarily developed in Dr. Disrespect's favor. It came out that Dr. Disrespect, while married and having a child, was having secret relationships on Twitter with a tranny, where he would solicit nude pictures and masturbate to them and disclose to the tranny that he was masturbating to their nudes. This is the tranny in question that published the private conversations between them. Lena Love met the handsome legend Dr. Disrespect at TwitchCon. And I think that there is more down here. These are the pictures that he posted. So he saw there's a weird thing with trannies where they get the surgery to try and like feminize their face, but it just like distorts their face into looking androgynous and not human at all. It's just such a gross, weird, scary looking face. And then I think there's something else down there. Oh, this is the picture of him with her, or her, quote unquote. No, that's the same one from before. This is what I was looking for. Lena Love says, "Thank you. Many others for TV today. You rock. Good to see you behind me, handsome," which is kind of weird. And then I think that this is the video proof that he was in the audience at like the tranny's catwalk or something. Oh, this one. Everything else loaded. Why is this one not loading? Oh, I guess it's just not happening today, chat. I'll just have to take my word for it that there was some controversy where Dr. Disrespect was allegedly having sexual relations with a tranny despite being married. And I'll cut it there. I had some emergency backup stuff, some Dicker stuff. I will save these for another day, I think. Cool. All right. Let's do some super berries. Wait a second. There's no super berries today because Rumble doesn't work. Is Rumble still broken? I just want to make sure that I didn't receive a bunch of super chats that I don't know about because my dashboard's off. See, my internet appears to be chugging right now. Oh, I see. It's a VPN thing. Wait, hold up. I got some deets on the Dr. Disrespect. Oh, the Rumble thing does work now. Okay. Okay, now Rumble works. Sorry about that. Fuck. I wonder, when did that start working, I wonder? I think that sorry, let me read the Dr. Disrespect messages that I found, and then, I will try to sort out the super chats. So here are the text messages, assuming that the internet wants to work. Okay. So during that time in 2017, when he was cheating on his wife with me, not only as a trans sex worker, but also another woman, and texting a minor, he was exploiting me by making me give him cam shows with the promise of partnership. After the cam shows, he went ahead and blocked me. So he said, give me the bussy, and I'll give you the Twitch partnership. And then the tranny gave him the bussy, and then he said, bye. Bye-bye. All right. Okay, let's read these spicy messages, okay? Hi, doctor. How are you? Photo shoot tomorrow. Too nervous. Weary face. Well. Good luck. I'm going to try to get some sexy cosplay images. Then after I can punish you. Smiley face. Oh yeah? How so? He asked. Don't know. Have to get a good strategy. We shall see. Ha. Still waiting. A couple hours later, 3 hours later. The trainer says, yeah, I'll think of one soon. Overwhelmed, packing a bunch. Not sure. A smooth black leather or latex. Don't know. He says, Nicky. Feel like releasing one right now. Yummy. Should I let go or hold on? Let it go. Spray it. Let it go. Let it go. And what's funny, whenever I think of that song from Frozen, I think of the Jewish parody one where it's like, no free speech for the goy, your rights end where my feelings begin. That one. I know the lyrics to the racist version in my head, and I can't hear the Disney one without thinking of the anti-Semitic version of it. Anyways, he says, I need something, slanty face. What do you need, Doc? I'm sure you have all these e-girls ready to serve you. And he says, lol, no. Lies. No way. You gonna watch my explosive intro? The goddess must be worshipped from head to toe before you can explode. I want the rewards. Tongue sticking out face emoji. Hi, hun, how are you? Daddy, you need to shoot me out and spoil me. Thank you. Dr. Disrespect said, just added you on Snap. Add me on Snapchat, username. And it says, miss you, Doc. Thanks for unfollowing stranger. And then the tranny asked again, like half a year later, are you going to PAX East? So he got what he wanted from the tranny, and then unfollowed and blocked, and just left them hanging. I think this is Skype. I'm not entirely sure. Or Facebook Messenger or something. It's one I don't use. Had to watch this one more time. I tried to snap you to delete your account. He says yes. And then the trainer says, oh, okay, feels bad. And he says, sorry. I guess his wife found it. I will try to vid chat you soon, but I'm heading to the gym. Gotta get fit. But don't be a stranger. Message me anytime you gotta. Some photos sent your way. Winky face emoji. He says, I mean, I'm gripping now. Boom. It goes. Golden! Sorry, I'm feeling very sing-songy right now. I don't know why. Nice firm grips. Dude, I need Crunklord to send me the gripping thing is fucking killing me. Bro, please send me the grip meme videos. It was okay. Hopefully he'll send it because it's fucking hysterical, and it's killing me right now that I can't show you that. He says, I tried. They are pretty locked down right now. Oh, sorry, I missed the message. Hey, love you. Ew. Do you know anyone you're close with that could see if they could get me Twitch partnership? He says, I tried. They are pretty locked down right now. Focusing on popular games and impact of streamers on those games, unfortunately. Tranny says, hope all is well. Have fun at work. I'm stuck with a cold. Fuck me. And then later he says, 15 minutes later, I kind of stopped playing games and been doing in real life. Giving it 1 month gets me. If not, I will go back to games. Lol. Just Alex from Partnership. So hard. Sucks to suck, I guess. Of course, I remind you that this was a married man sexting a unknown minor individual and while having a kid and shit. Pretty fucking grim. Pretty fucking Dr. Disrespectful, if I do say so myself. All right, now I will try and find the super chats. Actually, let's see. I don't think I can. It's so annoying. Like, why are the messages that I see in the Rumble Rant section on my dashboard just like from May? They're May 28th. Is the oldest that I see. Do I have to are they in like reverse order? I keep scrolling. Will I see? Oh no, it's in May 24th. It just stopped updating after May 28th. Bro, that's so fucking cringe. I feel really bad if people have been super chatting this entire time. I just haven't seen it. Because there's also no chat history or anything. Okay, Rumble chat, you tell me. Were there a bunch of super chats that don't show up on screen? They don't know if it's just the one. You forgot the Twitter appeal segment. I did forget the Twitter. That's right. I'm gonna do that. The super chats, like the Rumble chat, just didn't work. Check Maddie thread. Okay, someone got all the super chats for me. That's great. Okay, let me do the Twitter appeal segment, and then I'll look at the Maddie thread. Tube. I want 4 seasons. The official Maddie appeal song. Okay. Ooh, I need a theme. Today, I saw Joe Biden stare gormlessly, at Donald Trump during the debates, making me wonder if participatory democracy still stands a chance, even with rampant voting fraud. I have a point to this. I'm getting to it. Gormless. Gormlessly is a word. Fuck you. Then I had heard that the SCOTUS neutered the judiciary of the federal agencies so that they must go through real federal courts. On top of that, I saw the ineffectiveness at ongoing DEI strategies with Tractor Supply pulling out of their program. These are all very good signs that things are improving. The only thing which could give me more hope and optimism is a rational appeals course with X resulting in my unsuspension. Thank you. Oh. Unsuspension is also a fucking word. Fuck you. No, now I have to authenticate. So that's how you know this is a real one, because they're filtering this shit out. Use the arrows to rotate the hand is pointing. What? To rotate the animal with the same icon. Oh, I see. I got you. Oh, I have to do 20 of these. Okay. I got you. I think Twitter's had enough of me. Dude, if this one failed, I'm gonna be so pissed. Elon is like personally getting all these messages. And he's like, okay, we have to do something about this. This has gone on long enough. I think we're going to get further into this song than we ever will ever again. Because this one's going to work. Oh, I'm real nervous about this one. I think that's more right. I'm not a quitter, chat. That's the issue. They want me to stop. They're trying to suppress me. They're trying to suppress my freedom of speech is what they're trying to do. That's why this is a personal issue. And we're already halfway done. In case you're listening, let me try to describe what's happening here. Elon Musk has personally tasked me with using a computer to rotate his collection of small stone animals in his garden to a specific orientation, which is different. He has 40 of these, but he wants me to only change 20 of them. Elon says he'll unban me after I orientate all these, Okay, 15. See, the issue now is that they think that they're going to impede me with this, but I am merely getting better at doing these. I'm getting faster and stronger all the time. Okay, last one. I can't wait for this to not submit because I got one wrong. Fuck you! Okay, I'm gonna have to do this off stream then. 20 more. I think I'm gonna just change my VPN to one that's less severe. Elon has defeated me through various machinations. He has completely felted me in my attempt to unpeel. I knew that was gonna happen too. I called it, so it doesn't matter. Alright. Let's start with the super chat. The issue is it has like a reputational one, and depending on what VPN you're connected to, it lets you through instantly or not. So I just have to find one with a less of a better IP reputation. Breadwash for 5 says, Josh, I took your advice from the Tuesday and played Dwarf Fortress on my new PC. The 200 FPS melted my CPU, and I will now be billing you for a bill for the replacement. Enjoy debt, Starkle Child. I did not enter into a contract with you. Breadwash for 5 says, also, I'm going on a small road trip right now and I won't be able to catch the stream live, but I hope you and your audience will have a great time. I think we did. I think that we killed some time in the chat. We enjoyed ourselves. Raspies for 2 says, what's the origin of the GIF you posted with headphones on plus smiling? Happy weekend, Jersh. I have no idea what you're talking about. I think I posted that on Blockland, like over 10 years ago. It's a long time. I don't remember. Devious to V for 2 says, are you a ham bone? I think so. I think that Goose would say I'm a ham bone. Twinkletard for $100 says, testing 1 2 3. That did not work, but it did work on this other thing. It's like a fan site, I guess, that tracks my super chats for whatever reason. Thank you very much. Worldwide Web Wizard for one says, I think there's something wrong with the spam filter on Kiwi Farms, Josh. Working as intended. Sneedberg Stein Goldman for 20 says, Happy Pizza Day. Thank you. I can't wait. I'm so hungry. Lilanthia for 5 says, this stream is exactly what I needed. All my shit at work is broken today. No one showed up to work. Thank you, Josh, for a real one. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope you got paid for the time that you didn't get to do anything. Revon JJ for 1 says, at the doctors I can't listen. FGB and may the harvest be with you. Mark Hamill's having a massive cope and sneeze. I hope that this is about Biden. One off night. Oh, one off night doesn't change the fact that Joe Biden is the most legislatively successful POTUS in our lifetime. One off night also doesn't change the fact that the former guy is a convicted felon, serial liar, and adjudicated rapist who's unfit for any office, period. Yeah, I imagine it's pretty easy to get legislation passed when you are a puppet, a hand puppet. Brolt and Sneed for 20 says, here is why the swastika shows up all over Japan and Google Maps. Also, Anime Rocks, Hope and Sneed. And I know about the Shinto swastika. Like, I know that the swastika is not a German creation. I need to be educated, bro. Also, anime sucks. Thank you. Asian Tech Support for 10 says, can't watch live today, but have a slice on me. Shout out to my Neezers in the Ruben Sim thread. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the VOD with the penis edited out. Patrick S. Tomlinson for 5 says, the volume is good now. It's where it should be. It was too quiet for prior weeks. Was listening on AirPods at work at max volume with noise canceling. Couldn't hear shit. Thank you. Eat pizza. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad that the volume is better. Unkind Naysayer for 2 says, I have not stopped playing Space Station 13 the last month. How have you been entertaining yourself lately? Parasocial relations skill plus 12 experience. I should remind everybody that Gecko Koi on the Kiwi Farms and the Games board hosts the Space Station 13 server. He advertises it pretty aggressively, but now I've seen other people talking about it, so I assume that's building up a little bit of a user base. If you're into Space Station 13, go play with Gecko. He seems like a nice guy. I have been killing this week, waiting for shit to get done elsewhere. By playing the Soviet Republic's Workforce and something. It's a stupid name that you can't really Google search. It's just called Soviet Republics. I've dedicated myself to only playing on realistic, and I've restarted my game like a million times because it's a game where you have to get absolutely everything right or it just falls to shit immediately. And if you're playing on realistic, you can't easily unfuck it. That's what I've been up to. Space Allen for 20 says, Ham Jam. Thank you, Space Allen. I appreciate it very much. Lucifero 210 for 1 says, watching Sync Malt is like fucking heroin. Suffa chunky yogurt. Dude, he's so hateable. He's very unlikable, so it is pretty fun. Tetrabax for 20 says, turns out taking glass shrapnel in the ass won't give you an immunity to artillery shrapnel into the face. The lessons learned on the front line are hard and come at you fast, but they are learned. Thank you. Devious to be for 2 says, attention, Twinkle Tard was caught waxing his carrot in a Popeye's bathroom. That's good to know. Thank you. Gloria Dante for 5 says, they say Alexei heroically sat on an artillery shell, completely inserting it into his ass to smother the explosion and saving dozens of brave Ukrainian soldiers. Slava Ukraini. Thank you, Alexei, for your dedication to the front line, to the Ukrainian people. We appreciate it. Cool for 2 says, please read 12 and 13. All the earth has been corrupted by the effects of the teachings of Azazel. To him, therefore, ascribe the whole crime. To Gabriel also the Lord said, go to the biters, to the reprobates, to the children of fornication, and destroy the children of fornication, the offspring of the watchers. For among men bring them forth, and excite them against one another. Let them perish by mutual slaughter, for length of days shall not be theirs. Fig Soda for 5 says, re-electing Biden after this would be the funniest outcome. Dude, you have to pay attention to his vice president, because I have a feeling he's going to die immediately after he gets elected. That's probably their goal. They're just going to murder him as soon as he gets in. David S877 for 25 says, politics from the Latin, poly, many, ticks, sucking blood insects. Yes, it's an old joke, but it applies. Oh, poly, many, ticks, blood-sucking insects. Many ticks. I got you, bro. My favorite, by the way, is when I was in college, my U.S. civics teacher was like super, super Republican. And at the time I was like very like progressive liberal for I mean, not like compared to the Tumblrites, but like at the time, it was just like pro socialist policies. And we argued a lot to the chagrin of everybody else in that class. But her favorite little quip, or my favorite quip of hers, was, "What's the opposite of Congress? Progress." Ah, that made me laugh. It's very clever because it's such a simple, effective little quip. Coco, for one, says, read in Trump voice, "I'm the only president in history to legislate into existence the Kiwi Farms. A great sight. Great sight. You post, I hear you can even read the post. Fact check me, I dare you." I don't know how to do a Trump voice. That's my best. My hamster is the turf for two says, "I can't catch the stream live today. Just wanted to pop in with a gentle reminder not to be Rama Rama or sniff petrol from a can." I think Jim Medicare is doing a stream on Boogie this weekend. So speaking of Rama Rama, if you are interested in that, I think he's live later on. Jackman245 for 10 says, "Hello, Juice Cooner Moon. I did shitted today. On that note, happy pizza day. Have a slice on me. Tee-hee." Thank you. I appreciate it. Zent Suppa for one says, "Little bro, did you turn to a scat fag when I wasn't looking, dog? What the fuck?" I don't know what that means. Rand, away we go for one says, "Well, this Friday edition of Manny turned into retard sex fetish stuff again. I still love you platonically, Josh." I mean, I talked about a couple things, but not very long. Stalker Child Enjoy Prison for 10 says, "When Biden said we finally beat Medicare, I immediately heard in my head, when will you die, Medicare?" He's working on it. Joe Biden's going to personally show up at the Battle of Jim's driveway and put a stake through his heart because he's a fucking vampire. Tetrabax for $200 says, "Thanks, Josh. I got flagged with a TSA and was listening to the stream, and they unplugged my headphones so your sultry voice serenaded the boomers in line getting their bags scanned. Happy to help. I hope I traumatized at least a couple of them. Why won't you die, boomers?" 11th Circuit for 2 says, "Do not fret because of evildoers. Do not envy the wicked, for the evil have no future. The lamp of the wicked will go out." Proverbs 24:19-20. Thank you. Jim Socks for 2 says, "I know there's still time until the end of the year, but do you think Rackets is going to win Locale of the Year twice in a row, or will Juju come in last minute to steal the title?" Bro, I have no idea. I don't know why people put... It's really funny because the Locale of the Year stuff was... managed by the mod formerly known as Alan Pardue, who changes his name to like a bunch of different like football players. But Alan has been doing the Locale of the Year shit for like the entire history of the site. I think even before the Kiwi Farms was the Kiwi Farms. I can't remember. He's been doing this shit for ages. And now it's like a proper meme where like people talk about the Locale of the Year stuff, like even off site. It's pretty funny. Stephen Rith, for one, says, "A weeb with cancer AIDS name claimed you have a stroke after saw his channel name LOL. He likes to lurk in the farm acting macho despite being a fat manlet with sausage fingers in real life." I have no idea what you're talking about. Sorry. Longborder241 for 5 says, "Happy pizza to Josh. Sorry for making you look like an asshole on stream last time. To be fair, I haven't checked post much myself. Enjoy some money today. See you in Nibba." Thank you. Appreciate it. I vaguely know what you're talking about. It's okay. It's water under the bridge. Hamtaro for 2 says, "If you want to listen..." Oh, the follower counts. Hamtaro for 2 says, "If you want to listen to angry Japanese make goo-goo sounds at each other, I recommend the film Outrage by Takeshi Kitano. It's on anime." Not really in the market for more Japanese shit right now. Thank you, though. Tetrabax for 5 says, "Redneck Japanese is patrician tier." I mean, yeah, kind of. It's definitely better than the anime shit. Anime Burger for 2 says, "I recently learned about cargo cults. It's a fascinating topic. Stone Age Islanders post WW2 that started building bamboo planes and doing marches mimicking the U.S. military in attempts to summon cargo." Oh. That's weird. The cargo... So there's like primitives on Pacific Islanders who try to summon the U.S. military into giving them cargo. That's interesting. Very interesting. I've never heard of that. Hamtaro for 10 says, "Not sure if you can open YouTube Shorts, but just in case." And then there's a YouTube link.
It's the dead of night, and two pit bulls are attacking a car. In fact, they're taking it apart. Surrounding the vehicle from both sides, the pit bulls ferociously go at the Honda piece by piece. Fenders and other car parts fly into the driveway in Jacksonville, Florida. The owner of the SUV, Christy Barr, couldn't believe it when she saw the damage the following morning. Then she looked at her Ring surveillance footage.
On the video, you could see both of them tugging on it, and they were tugging so hard that my car moved.
It's unclear if the dogs are strays or not. The damage to the SUV, almost $3,000. So, what's got the dogs in such a frenzy? This little guy, the neighborhood cat. There's the frisky feline just before the attack. She actually hid in the engine during the ambush and escaped unharmed.
Nobody believed me until they saw it on tape.
Bro, they're such ferocious fucking animals. You just gotta kill those fucking things. They're so fucking gross. I hate them. Unkind Naysayer for 2 says, Zelensky literally sounds like Presidente from Tropico and not in a funny way. I mean, not really. He does the silly voice like way harder. Tetrabax for 5 says, I heard that schools in the Japanese countryside teach kids to grow rice as a class. Everybody should know how to grow food, man. Drewby82 for 5 says, afternoon, Josh. Hope you're doing well. And yes, I can hear you. The mic is working. Happy to know. Finally. Sneedle D and Sneedle Dumb for 10 says, welcome to the rice fields, motherfucker. Accurate. Like, literally true. Thank you. Kersey for 5 says, howdy, Josh. Thanks for the comfy stream as well as everything else you do. Peace and have a good weekend, man. Peace emoji. Sorry, I'm like choking on water now because I'm so hungry. Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoyed my comfy stream. Claudius Need for 10 says, you talked about pro wrestling, reminded me of this gem. Okay, can't wait to see some wrestling video.
Next question, Jeff, where are you? Right there.
Yeah, I just want to thank each and every one of y'all for all.
Oh no. No, that's too cringe, bro. Is it?
All you've done to your bodies.
Bro, this is so cringe. No, I can't watch this. Sorry, it's like frying my circuits. I can't. He's like crying to pro wrestlers. It's too much for me. It's Still Real to Me, damn it. And I know, I've heard of this meme before. I've never seen the original clip. It's frying my fucking brain. Wait, here. Okay, here's what we'll do. Okay, I'm gonna mute it. I'm gonna take off my headset, and then I'll play it so that you get your money's worth and everybody can enjoy it.
Next question, Jeff, where are
but
you?
I will not hear it because that's too much.
I want to thank each and every one of y'all for all you've done to your bodies. It's still real to me, damn it. I mean, thank you. Thank y'all guys. Y'all are awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Funk, for saying what needed to be said. I don't want to see another one of these. Well, thank you.
Yeah, that's like fucking toxic. That's like toxic cringe. Red Eyes Black Dragon for 2 says, can you tell us another story about when you worked at Whataburger? And then on the first week of the job, I cut myself accidentally. Because when I got in, it was like July 4th or like a spring break weekend. And they needed like any help they could get. Usually when the restaurant's like doing normal levels, you can have like 2 or 3 people that run the entire thing and do everything. And then just like when things are slower, you have one guy do one thing and then one guy do another thing and you take turns to keep it clean. When you're having like $4,000 hours of just selling burgers and shit, you have to have like 14 people in the restaurant to like keep it clean. So when I first got hired, they just immediately put me on dishes because it's like the flow of dishes is so like usually you do prep in the morning and then you put out the trays and shit. But when you're doing $4,000 an hour, you have to have people continuously doing prep because otherwise you just run out of shit. And they can't do prep if there's no dishes, so you have to have a dishwasher too. And I had like it was like a steel wool, and I managed to like slice my finger open like first fucking like minute into the into the store. The easiest job possible, and I still fucked it up. Schneeberg Stein Goldman for 10 says, here's $10 towards your AI-controlled suicide drone self-defense network. Thank you. I do appreciate that. Very true, by the way. Kersey for 1 says, if you hunt for it and shell out some money, you can get a 30-odd 6 AP that will go through some level 4. I would personally rather drop money on that option over spending several $1,000s on one 50 cal rifle. I mean, I'm willing to save the money and spend it if it works. If it's impractical and you can't shoot it, like people react to it, like I don't know, I've never fired one, so I don't know if the kick is actually that insane. It doesn't matter if it's expensive. I'll save up money to buy things that I need for like personal security and shit. That's less important to me than it working and it being practical. Nito for 1 says, who shoots guns better, Mexicans or blacks? And Mexicans, obviously. Haramburger for 2 says, the Anna Kasparian mention of not being with TYT anymore would be a shock, since she last did the recanting of TYT's coverage of Keffels was the reason of the split. Need more info. I don't know. I do remember the Keffels recount, though. I'm pretty sure she's still with the Turks. Tetrabax for 20 says, why doesn't Deagle just get another concussion to turn the seizures back off? That's a good question. Maybe you should get a job in medicine. So we're going to hit you in the head with the stick until you stop seizing. KF username is curious for 1 says, Josh, why do you ban people for disagreeing with you? Doesn't it go against your values of freedom of expression? Are you unable to contain your malding and run the site without alienating your user base? I have no fucking idea who you are or why I should give a shit. LA Trans Rights for 1 says, I exclusively watch the archive, so when I super chat, I immediately mute the audio and squeeze my eyes shut so I don't spoil even 1 second of premium Josh sent. I paid 200 characters, though. 69.6. I hope you got your money's worth. Haramburger for 2 says, that's 2 different X mods I've talked about today. Now do me, Josh. Go for a triple. Are you an X mod? I'm pretty sure you're still around. I don't know what you're saying. Tetrabax for $200 says, great stream. Have a happy pizza day. I will. I intend to. Thank you very much. Let me sit on your face, Josh, for 5 says, what does it take for you to talk about Dr. Disrespects? Talk to me like Dr. Disrespects talks to the tranny. I don't have a dick, but unfortunately I am Mexican. Adios mío. Eso es esposa. Wait, no, that's German. I can't speak Spanish without slipping into German. I don't know what the fuck it is. I'm like fucked in the head. Es no posible. How do you say sorry? Excuse-moi? It's not happening. Sorry. Let me sit on your face, Josh. Romberger for 2 says, Tuesday people lied about the volume to make Josh feel bad. Friday people gave over $1,000 in Rumble chat to make Josh feel bad. Truly gormless behavior by the Amati audience, apropos of nothing. It's true. There's another word that I keep using a lot that I'm trying to reach for now, and I can't. Facsimile? No, I forgot what it was. I can't make my joke. I ruined my own joke. Sorry. Has Grotesque for 2 says, hi Josh, how do you deal with users with multi-accounts on the forum, and how can you tell them apart from regular users? I manage a small community and we have false positives with IP alone. Thanks. It's generally behavior related. Like, I don't really care. Like, the forum is huge. We have less than 20 mods, and of those mods, 3 of them, myself included, can effectively check IPs, and only I and Wagley, who hasn't logged into the ACP since 2020. Only I can really review more specific details about account registrations and stuff. And there's simply too many new users coming in every day to handle sock accounts. So the way that I do it is it's behavior based. People who create sock accounts will generally always return to their behavior, like whatever got them. Here's a gist. If your rules are fair, and you're not just banning someone because you don't like them, eventually that person will start doing the same thing that they did to get banned to begin with, because that's just how they are. So generally, people make sock accounts and then they try to hide it for a while, and then after 100 or 200 posts at the absolute maximum, they'll renege and start being retards again and get banned again. And after a couple times, they just get sick of losing their account and they just fuck off. And some people don't. Like, there are some people who literally all they need, like, getting banned is like the attention that they need. And they have been making sock accounts just to get banned within the first 10 posts for literally like 5+ years. And those people are just mentally ill. The approval queue also helps a little bit. Just like the barrier of entry, where you have to make a couple posts and not be a complete fucking retard, will thwart most absolute retards. But you can't really say you can't join a website on the internet and enforce it unless you like do ID checks or something. Mtero for 2 says, good stream and happy Friday. Thank you. Appreciate it. Gay store spokesman for 5 says, what the fuck do you mean BlackRock isn't paying for gay businesses anymore? Don't fuck with me, motherfucker. You're buying these gay products and services now, whether you like it or not. Maybe you can ask for a government assistance loan or something. Let's see. I lost where I was. The Bugs, for 1, says, hey Josh, I was wondering if you've heard of Dharman Clone Tomorrow Teachings. The videos and titles are weird as fuck. Here's an example. Karen makes Indian take bath. Karen makes Indian take bath. You won't believe it. These Karen videos are like a weird scourge on YouTube. And they always have like AI generated images of like a woman being like bludgeoned, like bloodily sometimes. And they will have like millions of views. Like Karen gets what she fucking deserves. And then she's like all battered and shit. And it's just like a random AI photo. It's a really bizarre like Elsa Spidergate thing. Deadly Hollowed for 10 says, Jersh, also get a Neptune 4 Pro. It's an entry-level printer that can handle carbon filament very well, perfectly for making accessories for arms of fire. Neptune 4 Pro. Okay, I know that some people have wanted to do like a 3D printing board on the forum, but it's like you have to get like there's someone who really wants to start like a 3D printing board, but it's like you have to get like a thread going first. I would really like it if people participated more on the forum and like the 3D printing and silver thread and the gun threads. I would love it if there was like a prepper board for the site. I would use the fuck out of that. I would make a secret account to post on the prepper board. Stephen Rith for 1 says, sometimes something lolly in the channel name. Oh, the almighty lolly, that guy. I mean, his name's just fucking gross. It doesn't freak me out or whatever. It's just like, oh, that's like a freak who like wears he's a fucking freak on his sleeve who someone should beat the fuck out of. Not spooked by it. I'm a fucking adult man. Rich Wet Pasta for 10 says, howdy Josh. When's the cholecystectomy New York review? Never. Sorry. Vordier for 5 says, can you cover poop related topics early in the stream? Can you cover poop related topics earlier in the stream? When you wait for the end Tuesday and Friday, I'm always eating and you ruin it. Also, Irish wristwatch. I believe Irish wristwatch is a tongue twister because I cannot say this. Sorry, dude. I don't know. I briefly mentioned poo. Okay, I did not like show it or anything. Kurt Eichenwald, anime masturbator for 5 says, glorious Kiwi Emperor. I'm happy to see this lovely cultural exchange, although I think you should volunteer some of your altis to dub future Japanese lolcow clips. I mean, I get what I get. I don't really have a choice. We'll see though, maybe. Sneedo for 2 says, the replies to this tweet are funny. And then there is a X post. And oh, it's the content creator post that I showed on screen before. I think I'd prefer being on opium, says Skeeter Mania. Reminds me of the sex offender shuffle. Had a great time, guys. Is this a Reddit meetup? This photo complained at me for manspreading. Oops, all biological males. Not one black among you. How nice of you not to invite any people of color to ruin your photo, bigots. Hey sisters, there's a new invention called a bra. Have you heard of it? Why would, bro? Do you know how much money that this fucking gross tranny has spent on getting his daddy milkers working and puffy? He's not gonna hide that. If the real women are wearing bras. I've seen more diversity at a Klan rally. Genuinely, who the fuck are these people? I'd rather piss glass. That's a school in the background going to ask you all to step about 50 yards away. It's pretty good. Thank you. Stephen Rith for one says Glock 49, Benelli M4 shotgun, AR 15 BCM 16 inches barrel, SIG 716I for 308, and M82 50 cal sniper is Barrett, not Beretta. Now I understand. Thank you. It's a good lineup, I think. Sneed Cricket for 5 says, sorry if I was being retarded earlier this week. I had thought I had just gotten over pneumonia, but the x-ray the other day shows I still got it. Also, what the fuck is the Chevron defense court case ruling thing? You have to rewind the stream, bro. I talked about it earlier. Dr. Coffin Nails for 3 says, I thought the Oktoberfest edition of Straight Outta Compton from Tuesday's show was hilarious, even though it didn't have actual German. Thanks whoever said that. P.S. All you need is cheddar. Cheddar sucks ass. I'm glad you liked the clip, though. And last one, CyberChud213 for 25 says, I've been trying to gift you subs on Kick for 3 months. Please send help. Sorry, bro. They don't want me to make money. And Hannah's Grotesque for 2 says, thanks for your insight, Josh. Don't want to enforce any ID checks nor cookie policy. Let's start to pay attention to user behavior. Have a great weekend. Well, to be clear, what I mean is that, like, if someone gets banned for, like, spamming something, they usually always come back and do that regardless. Like, there's, like people who come back to the general chat and do the same exact fucking gross shit where they spam porn over and over again. I banned one guy because he wanted to make every thread like a porn dump, and then he makes a sock account and he starts posting porn in the same fucking threads. And it's like, you're being really obvious. And he went to, like, rule litigate. Like, I kept deleting his posting, like, bro, the site is safe for work. These threads are not porn dumps. Why are you posting porn in every off-topic thread? He's like, well, what about this? Would you qualify this as pornographic? Because as you can see, it is on topic, even though there is tits in it. And it's just like his interest was only posting porn in these fucking threads. And he gets banned because I get sick of him. And he thought he could be, like, nice and, like, rule litigate this and be like, but there's no official forum rule against this kind of sketchy content. If I posted in a not safe for work spoiler, like, fuck you. Fucking try to litigate me. Try to cite my own rules at me, motherfucker. I'm not an attorney. This isn't like a federal body where you have an administrative law judge. Okay. I don't have a song picked up. I'm looking at title on my phone, trying to find. I was listening to a mix on the title, and I actually had a really good collection of songs. Apparently I've lost that mix though. New Arrivals. Helldivers Never Die. Oh, fuck yeah. That's a winner right there by Rich. Dude, I love this guy's channel. His name is like Rich AA Deb. And he does really, 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 really high quality covers of, like, all sorts of, like, meme songs. He just takes them and he does them up, and they're fucking great. They're excellent. I love them. I actually follow him on Tidal. He has, like, a music profile. So Helldivers Never Die. Rich A. Deb. Actually, you know what? I've had a change of mind. Thanks to that Japanese culture crossover, I think that another song is more relevant. Here we go. All right, see you guys on Tuesday. Bye-bye. Oh, we're gonna have to let this buffer chat.
それを返せ。さもないと後悔するぞ。
Why doesn't it fucking work? I don't understand.
You should know that a man with the power of nature can bring you to the end of your life. And you should know by my smile and the look in my eyes that you are about to be massively forced to give up. Chicken attack, chicken attack. Watch your back before it fades to black. C'est my love harmless, but them cannot chicken ass. Go chicken go, go chicken go. Now gonna fly, you on the sky. With the power of nature, you are never alone, and you can't live alone, man. Every beast, every tree follows me to the end, and you're about to be massively fucked. Chicken attack, chicken attack. Watch your back before it fades to black. Say my love harmless, but them cannot chicken ass. Go chicken go. I'm gonna fly, you on the sky. You are young and you are hungry, perhaps your money. I give you this chicken today. It's eggs for your dinner, it's legs for next winter. You won't have to steal again.
なんて慈悲深い方だ。あなたすべての動物を操らぬんですか。
すべての動物が操れるけど。鶏が一番なんだ。
助けて助けて、僕の兄が富士見で銀行強盗に巻き込まれたんです。
大丈夫だ、心配するな。Go chicken go, go chicken go, now gonna fly, you on the sky.